Alrighty, welcome back to the Stateside Podcast. My name is James Macmillan, and I am the one host, but not the only host now.
I thought you were just going to say, I'm the one.
I am the one.
Okay, calm down, Neo.
You have arrived.
I am the one.
What's your name?
My name's Alan.
Yep. Today we have a very tasty guest. I've been saying tasty a lot for
You said that yesterday, too.
Yeah.
And I think we told you to fucking stop doing
it's
that.
super creepy.
So then next episode, you do it again.
I'm going to keep doing it. Today we have Kyle Baltus from the delicious band 36 Crazyfists. Welcome to the show, Kyle.
Hi, buddy. How you guys doing?
Doing good. Kyle brought us a lot of treats.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a mountain of candy. There's some Starbucks coffees, a bag of gummy bears.
I like that. It's not just Starbucks coffee. It's the vanilla ones, which are fucking...
it's just sugar.
Yeah.
You just dumped a
I have
pound
a
of sugar.
caramel one in my hand.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Vanilla and caramel.
When he got here, I asked him if he wanted a soda water, and he looked at me. He's like, "I'm good, bro."
Yeah.
And then 5 minutes later, and I know why.
He's like, do you guys want this? And then just the sound of a huge truck backing up.
Beep,
And
beep.
just the fucking table covered with candy aisle. Full
You're like Willy
candy
Wonka.
aisle.
Yeah.
Well, that's all my nan.
Are you a sugar freak?
Yep.
I mean, apparently you are.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Dude,
I
the amount
am
of
too,
times,
dude.
the amount of times I've seen this dude for dinner have a milkshake. Like, dude, I haven't even had dinner yet, and he like takes a straw out of one of the drawers. He's like, here we go.
Yeah.
I mean, milkshakes are dope though. I'm not like an ice cream guy. If you give me like a bowl of ice cream,
Why are you saying ice cream?
what is that not right?
Just
that's
ice cream.
That's like saying I got my permit to drive.
Yeah,
it's
I
ice
guess I
cream.
do that. Maybe that's
Ice
the
cream.
the
You
Washingtonian
guess
in
you
me.
do that?
Yeah. Well, just like sometimes I call it like Coca-Cola, that item, I call it pop, which is a thing.
That's a Northwest thing.
It's a very Northwest thing, yeah.
California,
Yeah, you say that like it's weird.
everyone
Yeah.
says Coke.
It's pop, dude.
As
Yeah.
kids,
It's
we
pop.
called everything Coke.
Yeah, that's the weirdest
Wait,
one
you
to me.
only call Coca-Cola pop? You don't call like all sodas
No,
pop?
all sodas are pop. Except now
Yeah,
I'm
duh.
soda. I say soda now
Yeah, because we've been fucking
Yeah.
'cause I grew up.
Because all these people are...
So that's like
Pop
an
is-
OG Northwest thing, right? To
Yeah.
call everything
it's
pop.
definitely pop, dude.
That's so old timey.
The one that blows me away the most though is like what you're saying, the Coke thing. That all
Yeah.
soda is Coke.
Yeah, that's the way it used to be. Like, hey, you want a Coke? And they're like, yeah, what kind you got?
Because see, that's not just different like me saying pop. That's full on incorrect.
It's madness. Yeah, it doesn't make any goddamn
So
sense.
weird.
Unless you're a Coke fiend, like they might be, and they're like, what kind do you want? I'm like, well, you have RC? No.
Word.
Do you have Pepsi? Do you have... No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Coca-Cola?
Yeah, yeah.
See, that was me as a kid. I would like make a statement at restaurants. Like, you know, what do you want to drink, young man? I go, Coke. They go, is Pepsi fine? I'm like, no. That's so not okay.
You just
Wait, what's that? The fat comedian guy? Sorry, excuse me.
uh
The comedian guy, Joe Capabrulo, maybe?
oh,
Like, he had
Caparulo, yeah.
Yeah, that guy. He
Yeah.
had that joke about that. They were like, he's like, yeah, can I get a Coke? And they're like, is Pepsi fine? And he's like, is fucking Monopoly money fine? Or whatever he said.
Dude,
See, I agree with that.
some people go Bloods and Crips with that shit.
I do.
It's,
I do.
it's a big fucking deal where it's
You're
like
either a communist, ISIS, terrorist supporter, and you like Pepsi,
Yeah.
or you're a red-blooded American and you like Coca-Cola.
I know.
And that's it. That's it. I don't know what to tell you.
I do think Coke. You know what I'm fucking addicted to, which is wild. I got to be the only dude my age addicted to this is Diet Coke, and that's just because
like straight up Diet Coke.
yes,
not
because
Coke Zero.
my mom and stepdad growing up, they had like fucking fountains of that shit. We had like
Oh, so
a
it's
billion
like a thing for
2-liter
you.
bottles at all times. So I'm just like, all right. So it was just me conforming essentially. And it
Right.
just became. I had one the other night at band practice. I brought I brought some whiskey. I brought Pendleton, and then I'm all about whiskey and Cokes. But the only Coke that we had at the office, because I was at the office before I went to practice, we had no shit LaCroix Cola.
That
It's-
sounds
What?
Dude,
wrong and disgusting.
It is fucking.
I thought that's the whole point of LaCroix.
Dude,
That's like their mission statement as a company.
well, no, it's their clean. You know, like here's Coca-Cola, but with no sugar.
Oh, there's still no sugar.
Yeah, it's still the very healthy, but dude, it tastes, you know what it tastes like? It tastes like somebody took a Coke and poured like a dribble of it in a bowl of dog water and then just put it in a can and sold it for $2.50. And I'm just sitting here
I
going,
would imagine that's what it tastes
I
like.
brought that shit to practice, and we're rocking those, and they're small cans, so between three of us, it was gone pretty quick. And then Vinny was like, "Oh, I got a Diet Coke," and I'm like, "Bring that shit here." And
Dude.
I mixed it with the whiskey. fuck, dude. Except it's got aspartame, and that's directly linked to cancer.
Like directly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
No,
it's
what are you gonna do? You know?
aspartame is it's Latin for cancer.
It's either
So-
that or you die of diabetes or
It's gonna be something, dude.
dude. Okay. So I want to give a quick shout out sort of thing, not to go all dark here, but a friend of mine and a friend of my family just recently passed away 2 days ago, and he was 50, early 50s. Found out. So okay, he has a headache. He's not feeling good. This was in late August, and goes to the doctor because he's just like, what's going on? Turns out he has a tumor in his head, like really bad, and it's not operable. There's nothing they can do to treat it. He makes it through Christmas and then dies a couple days ago. Like, just like that. Couple months, you find out you have cancer, and then you're fucking dead.
So is the shout out to the Grim Reaper
The shout out is to the Grim Reaper.
doing
for
another
being a
bang up
real
job?
guy. Dude.
Taking
typical
another-
fucking Alan response.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss, brother.
I am
Yeah,
too, but
it's a
I didn't
butter.
do it. The Grim Reaper did it.
Jesus
You did.
Christ.
I would never if I had like reverse Grim Reaper powers. Well, okay, I probably wouldn't use it on this person you're talking about because I got some more selfish.
You feel like, you'd use it on other
never
people.
changes.
Yeah,
with you.
I almost said like I would use the power to bring, but let's
This
be
is
real.
why I invited him to be.
I got a
on the
dog or
show.
two that I
Oh,
miss
my
dearly,
goodness.
dude. I'd probably bring Allie back or Ollie.
Oh yeah. You
Okay.
Bite your tongue if
Not
you're gonna
Allie.
say it wrong,
Yeah, sorry.
motherfucker.
Well, it's just I was gonna say Ollie, and then I'm like bail on that because his name's not Olly. Her name is not Olly.
Oh, you're just digging a hole, dog.
Hey man, I'm doing my best. I'm 32.
You know that
I got
was the best goddamn dog.
oh that dog was the shit.
ever.
You know what's crazy? This is gonna sound real creepy. I can still feel her chest because whenever she would come over and hang out with me, she first of all softest damn dog. Did you guys bathe her every day? Because it felt like it. And then her little chest, and I love it because now it's scary because I have a pit bull, and I know
which I still haven't met yet.
I know that is the wildest shit of all time. But now that I'm thinking about it, I have a huge group of friends that haven't met her. Like I don't even know that.
Okay, well, my very small group of friends all have met her and
guess
hung
that
out
is
with her multiple times.
yeah, I straight
I've
brought
seen
her.
Fuck you.
I straight brought her to Chris and Chelsea's house, and she did all right because I was like, how's she gonna do with Lita? But my dog's just so antisocial that
Lita
it's
is too. That's why they're
yeah,
perfect.
it is. It's super nice. You could tell as soon as
Lita doesn't give a fuck
Yeah.
about people unless she wants attention.
yeah, that's
She's like a cat.
she's very independent. I know. Scary's the same way. James, I don't even know. Do you have any pets?
I have 2 cats.
That's right. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe I did know that.
Yep.
What are their
Yep.
names?
Minerva is the girl cat.
Duh, I knew that. That's one of my favorite fucking songs. I can't believe I forgot. Yeah.
And Dexter is our boy cat.
Yes, that's right.
Dexter's not made very
How
well.
do you, of all people, forget those names?
I know. It really makes no sense. You know, I'm worried that I'm losing my fucking memory
Oh, I am.
more
too.
so, and I've used that as an excuse for a
Don't-
decade,
don't
but it's
worry about it.
getting worse.
People not remembering something about my life is never an offense. Like,
Oh,
No,
same.
I'm not saying it's offensive.
yeah, because
just
I'm
like,
the worst at that.
I'm giving him shit.
Yeah.
A,
Yeah.
You
but
should.
B, like, fucking loves Dexter.
Yeah,
Loves that song.
Right.
yeah.
Come on now.
I know.
It's a,
How do you not
yeah.
connect with that
It's a layup.
somehow?
That is.
But have you seen the movie Dreamcatcher?
Ooh.
Stephen King movie?
Yes. Yeah,
Alien
forever
invasion.
ago.
Okay, so they
yeah.
got an Asian.
I
That's
legit-
an older, like 80s, early 90s.
No.
something?
It was like late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, I
It was
legit
like
forgot
maybe
about that movie
02,
until.
03.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, they have this thing called like the Memory Warehouse or whatever.
Yeah.
Where there's like all like just like basically this big spiral room full of books. That's all this stuff that you have where you go,
Mhm.
and that's your memory, and that's, they're talking about like how they had to pull out. Like, I had to throw out my 80s lyrics for the new laptop I downloaded.
Right.
So, this guy being so busy all the time, when we were kids, we were constantly together. It's so hard to get a hold of him now because he's always doing things.
Right.
He just forgets things
Yep.
because he's throwing out
Yeah.
important
It's
things
all
for
just-
other important things that are,
Yep.
I know.
important things depending on how you look at them.
Well, I mean, there's something called Dunbar's number. Scientists claim that you're capable, specifically with people, you're capable of remembering no more than 100 names.
Yeah, you have a capacity limit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like that is your limit. And the fucked up
That's
thing
a
is
lot of fucking
that sounds
names.
like a lot. I'm like I might be like half that, but at the same time, I can think of if I sit and do it long enough, I can remember people in a weird way. The people that play the the smallest role in my life are the ones that I'm able to, like the fucking merch guy for a band that hopped on a tour that I was on for only 3 days. And I talked to him for a second. I can remember him. A guy I brought up on this podcast was, we went whitewater rafting fucking 6 years ago. And our tour guide, his name was Bibbs. I'm never going to forget that. Why? He's not important to me.
Yeah, you've talked about Bibbs before. It's a great name.
This is the second time I brought him up on this podcast, and he isn't important. Meanwhile, I can't remember that your cat is named after one of my favorite Deftones songs.
And shows.
What the fuck is going on? I think a lot of it is how present am I when these things are brought up. I was very present when I'm whitewater rafting because everything everybody says is the most important thing ever because I'm in a state of fear. Because, this is before where he's telling us, like, you're going to hit a wall of water and you need to hold on tight because it will knock you out of the... And I'm looking at all the white caps and shit, and the water looks fierce, and I'm like, I can barely swim. Like, I'm for sure going to drown. So I'm like, I think when you talk to me and when I'm in that headspace, I'll probably lock everything away. I have this, like, internal stenographer or some shit. But then
that's a real thing. Yeah.
But I'm here drinking beer, and you're like, oh, yeah, my cat's name is Minerva. And I'm like, cool, in and out.
Right.
That's why you have to be like James, where he's not offended that you forget, because I think about it a lot now because of this, that you start to, not to get cheesy, but into your 30s, you do start to understand the importance of, or the definition of important friendships, because they're the ones that they never go away, but they're the ones that you're not active in, but then you can just bring a buddy on the podcast that you've known I haven't talked to you really in fucking forever, but we've always been that way.
Totally.
And now it's just like, cool. Doesn't feel weird.
Yep.
No, not at all.
And
we've been friends a long time.
Yeah.
And probably hung out less times than
oh my God,
you would think after being friends for 14, 15 years, whatever.
Well, the truly crazy thing, I think about this all the time, is that through Kyle, I met his best friend, Chris Kinney, who over the last, I don't know how many fucking years, has become one of my best friends, who I probably hang out with more than Kyle. Well, I mean, I definitely hang out with more than Kyle.
Yeah.
A lot of that is because of how busy I can be, and then if Kyle's on the road or some shit. But that's a wild thing too. But they still, both friendships feel different as well. It's a weird.
We're all connected big time.
100%. Yeah.
And yeah, dude. Like, Chris is my best friend in the world. Always will be.
Yeah.
Best dude I've ever met in my life. But you also, like you and Jeff are super, super close.
Right.
So that is like, we played the band, and that's how you guys met.
I know.
And then,
well, and then that puts Chris
and then Jesse and Marty, like that whole man trip crew, like you guys are all so close. And I've known you guys my entire life.
I know.
Like, that's not my crew.
Right.
But we're still boys.
Yeah.
Like, we all have that thing where, like, we don't need to see each other every day. But
I know.
we come into a room, like, all 20 of us right now, and it would be the raddest party ever.
Exactly. Oh, dude, I know. And that's the shit that I'm talking about, that lack of immaturity that you all can just kind of... I have this, like, cosmic thing with life where, like, dude, we are not here for that long. I do not have time to fucking reassure one of my male friends, no, dude, I do love you. Like, totally. I got to sit there and build you back up all the time. It's
not even about the male friends thing, dude. Just anyone in general. Like, the way it is like, we're getting older. It happens to everybody. We have lives that we didn't have. Like, I mean, the responsibilities when you're our age aren't the same when you're 18.
Exactly.
You still work and do your thing when you're 18. Like, I'm not talking me personally, because I am not. I don't do that. I never have. I suck. But what I'm saying is, like, the problems are always the same. It's just when you're older, like, shit gets real about how serious it is. Like, it's time to be an adult.
Dude, I know.
And when you get a good job and you get things happening in your life that are something that you're willing to sacrifice other things for, it's not a knock to it. You're just growing.
Yeah.
It's fucking regular real life shit. And if you can't realize that, then that's just like, fuck. Sorry.
Well, and any true friends are going to be pumped. I'm never like, what the fuck, dude? Kyle never hangs out. I'm like, he's out on the road, and that's where I want him to be, because I've known him forever. We used to fantasize about touring, before either of us ever did it. We're like, dude, and then you can fucking this. And then I was watching on Behind the Music. Did you know that, like, so-and-so, they had their own bus, and then the vocalist had his own? Like, we're just fucking going off about the fantasy of it all. And then I did it for a while, never in a bus, obviously, but we whatever. We did our thing, and
Vans are funner.
yeah, I know, and yeah, so it is what it is. You're doing it now, and I'm just like, that's the shit. If you were just hanging out in your room every day, just fucking smashing candy and cold coffees and shit, I'd be like, why isn't he hanging out? He's not doing anything more important. This is this is weak.
Right.
But if my friends, if the reason I'm not seeing you is because you're out killing it somewhere, cool.
Yeah.
I got zero problem with that. That's what I would want. And it's kind of what I expected my friends to be okay with me. Like I bought a house. I got a fucking mortgage. I got to sweat every day. And like, I got a dog to take care of, a career to kind of maintain, personal health to, so it's I got a fucking family that's dysfunctional as shit. So I am spinning fucking multiple plates. And if I had a friend that's like, yeah, I know, but dude, just come get some beers. I'd be like,
it's also just like time, as you get older, you start realizing that this is not forever. When you're younger, you just think this is just going to continue on for fucking ever.
Yeah, I'm still stuck in that.
No, but that's okay. I mean, it's okay to have the Peter Pan syndrome, and I think a lot of musicians do. And it's good to stay young and all that. But you still have a feeling, the reason you're touring, the reason you're in a band, the reason you're doing the things that take you away from hanging out with your boy and your buddies is because you know that, like, this is my one shot here. This is it. This is all I have that we know of. So you're like, I'm going to go do the thing I'm meant to do.
Totally.
And you have to do that. And the other thing is, like, it blows me away how much time we used to just waste.
Dude.
Like me and the dudes I've known, Andrew, Steph, Josh, all those guys I've known for 20 fucking years, there's just, like, countless days on end that we would just sit in a room and play GoldenEye and smoke pot. And, like, it was a fucking great time. It was a really good childhood. Skateboarding, whatever. But, you can't do that when you're 35 years old.
Well, here's the thing, though. To put, like, a sad bend on that, because I think about that a lot, you're doing those things almost like dudes in prison playing cards or playing basketball. It's not because you're fucking passionate about basketball. It's because you are in prison, and that's how you fucking kill some time.
Yep, you're in the suburbs. You're just like,
you don't have a fucking car. You don't have
no money.
Yeah, no fucking money. So it's just like, okay, well, and in a weird way, that can breed a lot of creativity.
Oh, absolutely. Everyone played in a band. Like the Hillsborough music scene was really unique.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so much music out there, and everyone was so tight. Crummett and Steph and all my boys. But like, yeah, it's just it's a funny thing. And to have friends that give you shit about it at this age, it's pretty telling. If they're the type of person that it's like, I'm with you right now. Why are you actively giving me shit?
Yeah, exactly.
I have friends who do that, and it's a bummer. Like, we're together right now. Be in the moment. Let's be happy we're hanging out right now. You don't have to bust my balls about not hanging out last week.
Yeah, don't punish me, dude.
Like, dude. Anyway.
Yeah,
So how's the band doing? What's up with 36? Anything new?
I just got home 2 days ago from Alaska. We just finished up the last shows of the year. We did.
I saw that.
We were over in Europe for 3 weeks, and then we did like 5 shows in the UK.
Was that a headlining tour?
No, we were actually supporting a band called a band.
I coughed while you did that too.
Tour like flight. Shit. Excuse me. We were out supporting a band called Bury Tomorrow from England, and we were also out with Cane Hill and Crystal Lake,
cool.
Japanese band.
Nice.
And that was awesome.
Yeah,
it was amazing. Bury Tomorrow they treated us great. It was one of the tours that's like rare. Like Alan, you know how it is on the road. Like 90% of the time, it takes like a week or two.
Oh,
to
it
feel
takes
out
a
the
while.
band and who you're out with, just to know personalities and whatever. And we got there, and first day it was like everyone was just like immediate. Like
it's the best.
Everyone
got
ever. Along.
Yeah, you're like, this is gonna be good.
So we just had like the raddest time for a month, and those boys in Bury Tomorrow, they're workers, man, and they're definitely.
So what were the venues like on that kind of tour?
A lot bigger than I've ever done over there.
Yeah.
They were, a lot of them were like way bigger, because 36 we love and pretty much go for like a small club environment.
Right, just pack it out. And,
so like,
throw a party.
I mean, we're talking like max like maybe 500-600 in certain places. Sometimes in like other places it's like small as like 250-300.
Sure.
We just pack them like sardines and like get that real intimate.
It's always
like,
better.
Yeah.
Fucking cool.
Absolutely.
Rock show. And not that there's anything against the bigger shows, but it was something that I'm not typically used to. especially over there, my first time, I'm just used to club shows, and
Right.
we were doing like some pretty big rooms that were really cool.
That's
really,
awesome.
really cool.
The crowds were cool. And
Crowds were great.
That's awesome.
And it was a nice mix of bands because there was like Crystal Lake is from Japan, and so we shared a bus with them actually, and not
the European bus though, with the
Yeah.
big windows, the big mirrors that look like elephants almost. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
They're
yeah,
different
yeah,
than American
yeah.
buses.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
Well,
funny looking.
Yeah. So we meet them, right? And they're like, they don't speak much English. A couple of them,
Oh,
like,
wow.
they do, but it's like broken English. So that was
God, what a challenge.
just talking to them was, or communicating with them. We had to learn like how to whatever.
Do a
we
lot
ended
of
up
sign
getting,
language.
Like, no, I mean like we ended up figuring out a way to communicate. 'Cause
Oh, cool.
They can understand English and stuff. It's just they can't. Just like we can't speak Japanese, we
Right.
could get that you're saying good morning, but I don't know how to say it back.
Yeah,
like that
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
thing. So there's just a lot of smiling and like high fives.
You know,
Um,
yeah, that's
but
funny.
They were opening every night, and talk about a fucking band that can like get everyone hyped.
How cool.
It is insane. They were like one of the raddest live bands, and just their
Were they opening the set?
They were opening. So there was 4 bands. So the bill went Crystal Lake opening, and then Cane Hill, and then us, and then Barry Tomorrow.
So Crystal Lake would come out and just get everyone pumped.
They would just
Oh,
hype
that's perfect. man.
everybody up. And the crazy thing was like no one in the crowd knew, but their drummer broke his foot like 2 days before tour. So he showed up to tour like in a boot.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it was his right foot.
Oh no, that was going to be my first question.
And he fucking was like whatever, and still just like crushing these fucking shows, you know, like.
Wait, he's a right-handed drummer and he fucked up his right foot?
And he played in a boot.
Yeah,
Oh,
his,
wow.
Like,
his
still-
primary
and
foot.
he's like doing like fast shit, and he's like doesn't fuck up. He's amazing to watch.
Veteran. Yeah.
And it was funny because like
That's crazy.
everyone's just blown away by him. Then we realized he's got a broken foot. Like 2 weeks later, he like has another shoe on, and I was walking behind him, and I was like, "Holy shit, Gaku, you have 2 shoes on!" And he just smiles. He's like, "Ah, hi." It's like, dude, that's so fucking rad. And then
That's
after
great.
his fucking foot was better, it was like unstoppable. He opened every
Word.
show with a drum check, but it was just a full on drum
Right.
solo.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
check
It
this
was-
shit
I
out.
thought it was so fucking rad that he
That's
would just
so
go up there
cool.
and like literally just shred for like a minute, and then boom, and then they go right into their set.
Dude, that reminds
Damn.
me. I saw a Perfect Circle open for 9 Inch Nails. Anyway, Josh Freese played. So let me think about this. His right leg was broken, like sort of broken. So he had a full cast on his leg. So he put his right leg up on the kick drum, and then played the kick drum parts with his left foot in a
Jeez.
perfect circle.
Yeah.
It's not like, I mean, it's like really round, kind of. It's not like blast beats or anything, but still,
Yeah.
it's a fucking tough gig.
I mean, there's still some thinking man's parts in there,
Oh,
though.
fuck
like,
yeah, there are, man.
Well, it doesn't matter what you're doing.
Doesn't
Like,
matter what you're
if
playing.
you're training your brain to play your right-footed stuff with your left foot while you're still doing right-handed stuff,
And-
like
and-
you're relearning the drums.
Yes.
at
Yes.
that point.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
And it's insane. Like Travis Barker's done that a couple
Yep.
times.
A
Where
couple
he's had
times.
and he's done it with like one arm as well.
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like done the whole like Rick Allen thing from Def Leppard, where
It's
like,
what
I'll
separates them,
Put
though,
some
man.
pads in here, and
Yeah.
I'll do the whole show with one hand.
Dude, I watched
But-
a breakdown of that guy. What was his name from Def Leppard?
Rick Allen.
Dude, I watched a breakdown of how he sets up his electronic drum set. It is fucking wild.
It
Dude,
is fucking like
it's a totally
it's
different way of
genius
playing.
level shit.
Yes.
And like if you watch interviews of that guy, he's one of the most like inspirational
I was just going to say that.
drummers and people I've ever met, because he was like that young dude making tons of money,
I know.
fucking high,
What a
or
shame.
drunk
I know.
or whatever, and then he got into this wreck when he's all fucked up.
Yep.
And instead of being like, well, fuck that guy, he's
Yeah.
like, well, I fucked up.
He says
I
it was the
have
best
one
thing that ever
arm,
happened
so
to
I'm
him.
gonna like refocus
Yep.
my life, and not only am I gonna like innovate drums and things
Yeah.
for not only drums but people in general, thinking another way about
Right,
how like, I
right.
lost this limb, but that doesn't mean I lost the ability.
Yeah.
And then to do it and just have this weird epiphany one day, beating on like bowls and piss cans in a
So
fucking
cool.
hospital, and then to do it
And by the way,
and be so humble about it
in a
just
time
like,
where technology was terrible. That's
Right.
the other thing.
Yeah, but
is he
his
basically invented that whole like big pads and triggers and not
And
invented
that-
it, but he made it super.
and That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about just his mental ability to be like, this isn't going to stop me.
Right.
And to have
Absolutely.
it be like, that's what I'm talking about. The inspiration
Totally.
comes from. Like,
Totally.
You're not going to, like, I'm
No,
a
I
drummer.
gotcha.
I have one arm now.
Yeah.
It's not going to stop me.
And props to the band.
I'm like,
too, for,
I'm,
not, but props to the band for allowing that to develop.
And
allow
having
him
his
to
back
try.
enough to,
It's not, and again, it's not like they're playing 100 people every night. They're playing fucking stadiums.
Yeah, totally.
They're playing giant world tours.
Yeah.
Like a ton of money on the line. They could have easily fired him, just hired some guy.
Absolutely.
So props to that whole.
I like to imagine that it wasn't a big deal to him. Like he woke up in the hospital bed.
I know.
And yeah, you can if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, because we can edit like.
I gotta piss so
Yeah.
Oh yeah, do your thing, man. Yeah, we're good. Go. Yeah, just go piss. I'll.
Sorry.
No,
No,
do your
you're
thing.
fine.
Sorry, that was killing me.
No,
Should've
dude,
peed
we'll
before.
do a pee break anyway. So.
It's all good. Are these gummy bears?
Yeah, and I remembered that my teeth are fucking terrible.
Mine
Now
too.
they're-
I have a. This is the grossest shit of all time. I have a crown that's just been like popping out. So I look like a fucking meth head. I'll be eating. I'll go, oh. My mom was next to me at one point. I was having lunch, and I go, oh, and I just pull out a tooth, and she goes, oh my god.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's just a crown. She thought I was just extracting my own teeth.
You know
mid-meal.
Jeff Miller?
No.
Did you know Jeff? He played bass. He played bass in actually early the days and nights. The band I was in. He played in the Clarity Process with Northcutt.
Never had the pleasure of meeting him.
Anyway, good dude,
Okay.
Hillsborough kid.
Okay,
He used
okay,
to pull
okay,
out
okay,
his
okay,
teeth.
okay.
Oh yeah.
So
there's a
stoner
connection.
fucking weird moment right now.
Yeah.
Do you know Jeff?
No,
No.
I know you, bro.
Yeah.
This is all.
He's
coming
having the
to-
same-
This is all fucking coming.
See, I knew I
together.
fucking knew
Kyle,
you.
Damn it,
Kyle, I had the exact same.
This is fucking weird.
You're gonna have it for a different reason. One of his oldest friends is
Yeah.
one of his oldest friends is John Johnson.
John Johnson's like my
Oh,
fucking brother, dude.
shit.
I'm the original Little John.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, John played in the band for a hot minute. Dude, John's the best. I
Yeah.
miss that guy.
I miss him too.
I wish he'd
If
fucking
you
play.
talk to him, tell him to call me.
Yeah, you too.
for real.
Fuck.
I feel bad for John. He joined the band and then we just fucking fell apart.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Sorry.
God, I've been trying to figure out how the fuck I knew you all day.
Well, dude,
That
2
is
minutes-
So weird.
You too. I knew I fucking knew you.
2 minutes after John joined the band, he hit me up to do a Portland Trailblazers like parody shirt design
Oh,
for you
you
guys.
did that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, we're all just blowing our
Yeah,
minds
this
right
is
now.
fucking weird.
That is
man.
one of my favorite fucking designs.
Yeah, it was
for a shirt.
instead of Rip City, it was
It was
Riff,
Riff
City.
City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TDTN Riff City.
Fuck
So
yeah.
funny.
Fucking shit.
I might still have that file
I
somewhere.
was so
You
bummed that we
sure
didn't
that
do
wasn't
that
an
shit.
FC design and we just couldn't afford it?
You know, here's what's funny.
I'm serious.
I
dude.
want to say initially
I think that
I did
was
it for Caddisfly.
Oh, that sounds right.
Yep. And then I want to say John hit me up to do it for, I don't know who it ever ended
I
up
think
being
Draper
printed.
hit you up for it. That's what I
Maybe.
Or no. Yeah,
Speaking-
Draper.
okay,
or,
there's
I don't
two
fucking
names.
know.
But the three bands were Caddisfly, The Days, the Nights, and Falling Closer. They all
Everybody
had...
wanted
Wait,
yeah.
you guys
Shit.
you weren't in Falling Closer,
No.
but you were with
He was.
John.
Yeah, I was.
Okay, so
Yeah.
now I definitely know who
Yeah,
you are.
I'm little fucking.
You're
Kyle
Yeah.
fucking
from Falling
shredder,
Closer.
dude. You're fucking super good.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
I remember watching those like you do like the Travis Barker thing. You do like
Oh, Stick Tricks Galore?
yeah, you'd play drums to like a hip hop
I
song
did
or
a
some
couple
shit.
things like that.
I
yeah.
loved
Yeah.
that back then.
Oh,
yeah.
thanks, dude.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
Yep,
It's a funny town that way.
dude, it totally is. Like,
It's just
Yeah.
big enough where
Oh,
this kind of
fuck.
stuff happens all the time.
Well, I had
small enough where
Absolutely.
we all know each
but
other.
then, yeah,
You
definitely.
know what I mean?
I had this exact
Yeah.
moment yesterday because we were talking about Shelter Red. I was like, man, I remember back in the day, like Aftermind played a battle of the bands with Shelter Red, and at the time they had this drummer, and then I looked at James because I almost said James,
Yeah, that's right.
and then I go, what? And he goes, yeah, that was me.
That was me.
And I'm like, holy shit! It was weird. It was
Yeah.
almost like he took off a mask. And he was the
Right?
killer the whole time.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I know you, but I didn't know I knew you. Like,
It's funny because it's been long enough that I haven't played drums in a band and played out and stuff that there's enough times gone by where people are starting to forget. And so every time that I remind people,
Yeah.
this
Well-
always happens. Like, oh, that's fucking you. That's right.
Mhm.
Well, the funniest thing is, like, he was like, yeah, I just do it with my buddy James. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'll meet this guy James. He
Right.
wasn't like James. You know, he used to drum with Days and Nights and blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was just like, James. So coming in, I'm like, God, I know you, bro. But like, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Like, I'm sure we know each other somehow.
I did the
So,
same
like,
thing. When I went
once
to your
you said Days and
Instagram.
Nights, I'm like, oh, fuck me. That
Yeah.
I've been sitting here for fucking half an hour. Like,
Here's the problem. I've been giving
That's so cool.
previous guests, like I would say like the last 3 or 4 guests, I've been giving them context and it like dies with them. They don't get it. And then the one person who would have completely understood, I was tapped out. I was like, this shit ain't working. I'm not giving anybody context. I'm just going to give them the address, say, you know, my buddy James started the podcast, but I'm here too. And
Yeah.
it's going to be a thing and cool.
Thing, you'll figure it out or
And
not.
then, of course, I could have told you. Because even when I...
Carl did the same thing too. He's like, oh, that's fucking you.
Yeah. Yeah, even when I popped outside to grab Kyle, he was like, "Oh, you could have just said interlace." Like he's like, "I would have known where to
I
go."
came in from like the backside all weird.
Yeah.
as
That's
fuck, and I'm
hilarious.
like, dude,
You could have just said interlace.
Yeah.
You've probably been here 100 times.
Yeah.
Right? You probably recorded here.
I've never recorded here, but I've come to tech for
Yes.
him while he recorded.
Oh,
here.
Yeah,
there you
I was
go.
gonna say I know Kyle's been here because when I'm about to record, he comes in and like we load my shit in and fuck with the kit.
Dude, I
and-
fucking love this building so much, man.
yeah, me too.
I used to hate it.
I didn't even know this was down
I
here,
love
to be
it.
honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Days Nights
No idea.
practiced here for like a month when we got back
Yeah.
together. And then
Before this, even
we do what we do.
when Crummett was in here, before that, it was the Rise Records office
Dude,
No
this is
shit.
to like add another layer
like
of
a long time ago.
bizarreness. Yeah,
That's what that window, they used to use that. Yeah, because that was actually clean out there. I remember being able
Yeah.
to look through.
yep.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, so crazy. I don't know if
What
they
a
were
weird
here
town.
and then because they had another killer office that I was never a part of, but I hear about it every now and then where they had the top floor, I think, so they had access to the roof, and the roof was the shit. Like you smoke up there, it was really comfortable.
That was out here in Portland still,
yes,
right?
yeah, it was like
I think I went there.
I can't
I
even
remember that.
I can't even guess the like cross streets, but
Wait. Down by
That's
PGE Park?
weird.
maybe that sounds
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where we did Tuesday. Where me and Jeff did Tuesday. Like,
Oh,
like on the hill, kind of. Like on that corner.
maybe
There's a little...
that might be. Yeah, that might be
we did
right.
it with Steph there. I think it was like the first one, and then they came
Like
here.
the Goose Hollow neighborhood, something like that.
It's like, you know, like on Burnside where it like comes down by PGE Park, and then you can go left up that kind
By
of...
the way, I love that you call it PG Park. That's old school shit.
Oh, what's it called now?
It's fucking.
Well, to me, it's Civic Stadium, to be honest with
yeah.
you.
It is
But
Civic
if you-
Stadium.
But to
then
make
it was
sure that
PG
people
Park.
know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Civic
But
yeah.
no, it's
Park.
called something else now. It's fucking.
I still call
It's the name
Moda
of like
the.
a window
It's the
company.
fucking Rose
I
Garden.
still say
It's
Rose
not the
Garden.
fucking
Oh, yeah,
Moda
dude.
Center.
Yeah.
Fuck the
Get
I'll
Moda.
say it
fuck
7
out.
times
Fuck outta
while
here.
somebody's giving me the dumbest look, and then I'll be like, Moda.
Dude, the Rose Garden is the Rose Garden is the reason my family moved from California to Oregon
Oh, damn.
because my dad was one of the lead inspectors on that project.
Oh,
That's
shit.
pretty
Anyway,
cool.
Yeah,
And
I
it was
remember-
just a fucking, that was probably a big ticket gig.
Oh, it was huge. Yeah, and I remember walking the beams like where the iron workers would walk. And, you know, by the way, iron workers are the most badass motherfuckers in the
They're
world.
savage.
Savage, fucking crazy people.
Big balls.
Yeah. And, so I got a chance to look at the Rose Garden being built. And so, like, I remember it being just like a mud pit with rafters.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked because, you know, we're all Portland people and Blazers are what they are. But, yeah,
I sort of feel ripped off that, like,
wish they were better.
I was born in an area that I never want to leave. Like, I'm kind of
know.
jealous. Like, I've dated girls that are from the Midwest, and they were like, there's just nothing.
get out of here.
There's nothing out there, and Portland's got some. And I'm
Word.
like, yeah, it does, but where do I get to go? Like, I don't get to upgrade. Like, I feel like
Upgrade.
I'm legit in the dopest fucking part of the U.S. And it's the most first world problem ever to be like, I don't have anywhere to escape to. That's not fun. People don't want to have to do that.
No, it really is a great place, though.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic. You can we got Seattle up there. If
Yep.
you want to go to Canada, that's not far away.
My
I've
wife and I
said
went
this
to the
before.
beach last weekend. You know, it takes you an hour and a half to get there.
So nice, yeah.
Fucking the mountain. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's talk more 36 stuff. I really want to dig in for a minute. So out of all as far as you're willing to go. I mean, we'll start small. I mean, you guys, Jesus, what a veteran band.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we've been talking about all the bands we played in, the Days and Nights. Like, cool. I'm really proud of all the work I've done. I know you guys are too. But 36 has been around for a fucking hot minute, dude.
We just had our 24th anniversary, December 5th.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that is.
What's the name of the main guy you were saying earlier?
Which
the main guy,
or the
our
dude
singer?
see, that's what's tough. That's what's tough.
I don't know all the names.
Yeah, the main guy. I don't know if there's a main guy.
Yeah. Right now, if any of them are listening, they're getting closer to the speaker.
They're just
like,
who the fuck is
who's
Kyle gonna
the?
say?
Who
Who's
did
the
Alan
main
say is
guy?
the main guy?
Let me rephrase this. Who's the oldest?
The oldest. Okay, so like, as far as original member, or
Sure.
just age.
Age. We'll start with age.
Okay, age. Mick, our bass player, is the oldest.
Okay, not Mick.
Okay.
Then who's the longest original member?
Okay, so Holt and Brock started the band.
Brock.
With Thomas, our
That's the
old
guy
drummer.
I was thinking of.
Yeah, Brock is vocalist.
And he is how old?
Brock is 43.
Okay.
And Holt has got to
Holt's
be
44.
okay.
Okay.
I'm glad you cut me off with that number because I was going to go higher.
Nope.
Perfect.
No, Mick is our oldest member, but it's funny because he's like the biggest, sweetest kid.
Yeah.
He's still
Right.
just a lovey-dovey
That's great.
little kid.
And so
running
you're
around.
the
I love him.
little baby pup?
I'm young buck, but it's weird because like.
But you got to be 35, right? At least?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm 37.
Okay. So yeah.
No,
No.
I'm fucking not
I was
even
going to say
close, bro.
bullshit.
Well, it's funny
No,
that
I'm 31.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
It would be tight if you were 37. I'm
That
just
would be
learning.
Actually,
that.
that-
funny if you bought that I was.
Well, now that I think
37.
about it,
I
'cause
must
you're-
look like shit.
You're
today.
boys with him. You guys grouped together, so you'd
Yeah.
be closer to age.
Yeah.
Because you're 32, Alan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm the old guy in the room. Cool. Great.
Well,
But you're 35, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not that old.
Yeah, that's really not shit. Everyone in my band right now is like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
Old guy in the room.
Right.
Yeah, I've dated
'Cause
girls
Mick-
with
so-
like a longer discrepancy in age than that because that's only 3 years for you and I.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Mickey and me have a funny story. My bass player and I have the same birthday. He turned 20 the day I was born.
Oh, wow. What a trip.
Yeah. So he was in
Damn.
LA in the 80s doing like that thing
That's
when I was
fucking rad.
born. And so like when me and him get talking about like the 80s, he's like, "Oh, dude, the 80s."
You know what's funny about that? When
Everyone wants him to get to talk about it in an interview, and he's never like giving us a lowdown. It's like top secret information.
Yeah.
And I fucking love it.
Dude, that's
It's
fucking
good
rad.
stuff.
Well, dude, that's
It's
rule
funny
one
as
of living
fuck.
through the 80s is like,
If
yo,
you remembered it, you weren't there.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I was going to say, you reach an age where like, because I remember being younger and thinking of older people, right? Whatever the fuck that means in quotes. And you'd think of it as like
Well, when we were 20, we thought that like a 35-year-old dude was an old
so
guy.
fucking old.
Not old guy, but he was like the old guy in the
Yeah,
scene.
and almost had like a negative connotation to it.
It did.
And now that I'm an older guy, I'm in my mid 30s. I think of now when I think of someone who's 45 or older, it's like a badge of honor. Now I don't see it as a bad thing. I'm like,
It's
oh,
experience.
it's experience. You just
It's
told me this guy
knowledge.
lived through LA in the 80s.
Right.
That's fucking something I didn't do.
It-
Like I don't have that.
Totally.
So he's got this wisdom badge that I don't have.
And
I love it.
I think a lot of the things that like, because when I joined the band, like I had known the boys for a long time, but I've always been kind of an old soul.
And when did you join?
I joined the band officially in 2012,
Okay, cool.
but I've been friends with them. I met them when I was like, I don't know, we were kids. So
Right,
right.
right.
I met them in probably like 2005.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like right after Snowcap came out, like when they were still at the end of that tour cycle. So
Nice.
probably 2005, early 2006. But I've just always like, I had to grow up quick as a kid, like just kind of some rough things, whatever.
Yeah.
But so I've always been like an old soul, and so like I've always hung out with older people.
Oh
Like
wow.
when I started hanging out with John Johnson and the Element dudes when they were Element back in the day.
They're at least
It
5,
wasn't
6
even
year old.
falling closer, you know.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
was like 15, and I was going to like parties with them dudes,
And they're in their 20s.
and my mom was like, "As long as you make it to school the next morning, it's okay."
Well, how
So
old is
I'd come
John?
home
He's
and-
like my age, right?
John
At least.
I don't know, 81. John's birthday. He just had a birthday December 10th. It's 2000. He's 37.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, that
being
sounds
a
right.
little older than me.
Yeah, he just turned
Okay.
37.
Cool. It's funny you said you feel like you're an old soul. My wife and I always joke that I am not. Like I feel like I'm a new soul. Like this is my first time fucking here, and I'm like just really excited and terrified all at the same time. I have so many questions. I'm always confused. Like, I do not feel like an old soul at all. Like, my soul, this is the first time around.
No, I meant like I just I've always hung out with older people, and like what I guess I should say when I started playing music, I always hung out with older people.
That's a sign of maturity and you wanting to do something better than your dickhead friends are doing. You know?
It's not even that. I guess I'm just, dude. I'm super ripped right now. Damn it.
Good.
That blunt got me. But
that's a good thing.
So what I was trying to get at is like with them being older, like I don't think we were talking about like the old guy being a bad thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I have learned more in like the 7 years that I've been in 36 than I did in the 24 years that I was alive before that.
I can only imagine.
Certain things in life that like I wouldn't have been taught if I wasn't in this band.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if I've always said that if I would have went out on tour or been able to do the things that I've been lucky enough to experience and do because of 36 with dudes my age, I would have gotten a lot of fucking trouble. Because I am just like a fucking wild kid that's just like seeing shit for the first time and woo, partying, whatever. And they like kept me grounded big time.
Down boy.
So not like that, but just like they had, you know, hey man, we don't do that and that's not how you do things. And they've taught me a lot about like.
They're a professional band.
About music, but about life in general. Just about being like a good dude.
Awesome.
And a good friend and a good person and just the way you carry yourself in life. I've learned a lot about.
Cool. Yeah, there's got to be a lot of value in you, I mean, for you, in that at their age, they've kind of been there, done that. So the things that potentially to somebody younger that seem like shiny and glimmering and stuff, they're like, already fucked with that a billion times.
Right.
Here's how it can go south. Here's how it's cool. Like,
totally.
And kind of show you like how to, not that I've always felt like you're kind of one of those guys that go into a situation, and even if you on the inside are like, holy shit, this is so cool, you're really good on the outside at just playing it cool and not freaking people out by being too excited, because that can freak people out if you walk into a green room and it's some band you're really into and you're there to play with 36, but then it's like some dude you're obsessed with. I know you were at a festival at one point and you got to meet Tommy Lee, which is one of your heroes.
Oh, wow.
I'm sure that was hard as shit to keep it cool, but I'm sure you did an all right job.
I don't know, man. That was a trip because no one was around.
Yeah.
And I fucking fangirled on him.
Oh, wow.
Like hardcore for
me. It was
me.
just you and him?
Hardcore for me.
It was just the two of you?
It was me and him and my buddy Jamie from England. He was the one who told me, he's like, I got to kind of set this up a little bit.
Yeah, no, do it.
So we get to play Download, which for me is a dream come true.
Yeah, that's huge.
And then
huge.
I find out we're on main stage, and I'm like, holy shit. And then I find out we're opening for Slash and Billy Idol and Motley Crue and Kiss. And I'm like,
Christ.
holy fuck. So I'm already tripping out. Like, I can't sleep.
How many people at that show? I mean, that
I don't know what the count was. I mean, we played at noon, but even for us, it was like a lot.
Thousands and thousands.
A lot of people.
Yeah, that's got to be close to 10,000 people, I would think, at that point.
Even at noon.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah.
By the time Kiss played that day, they have a fucking $250,000 worth of fireworks every night. They got like 60,000 people probably.
What the shit?
But you know, when the funny thing is if you're looking at that many people, if you can't see the back of them, that's a lot of fucking people.
That's
I would agree.
Yeah,
it's like,
to me, that's enough people.
It could only be like 7,000 depending on the room, but I don't know. I was completely. I don't remember playing. I don't remember. It was a trip for me.
Yeah,
it was really a trip for me because I'd always see, like being friends with the boys, I'd always see shows from Download and the sing along at Slit Wrist and this kind of stuff. I had seen all this before, so now I was there and I was just like, I was fucking freaking out.
Yeah.
And the boys were like, well, you better at least fucking meet Tommy Lee. You know, we only said we'd play this show because we were opening for Motley, and we wanted you to meet Tommy. And I'm like, all right, fuck you guys. But that would be awesome. So we're sitting there, and on the day of, Slash's dressing room was like right across from ours. So I'm like a fucking stalker in the window, just like trying to get a glimpse of him through the blinds all day because Guns N' Roses is my favorite band ever. And I'm just like a fucking nut this day. My buddy Jamie comes into the dressing room and he's like, hey man, Tommy just went into Slash's room. There's no one out there. Just come out here. And I'm like, oh, dude, that's not even funny. You know, don't fuck with my emotions, whatever. He's like, no, I'm serious. Just go out there. Like, promise. So I just go out there, I start smoking a cigarette, and I'm waiting, and like not 10 seconds later, Tommy by himself comes walking out of Slash's dressing room, and there's this little hallway, and I'm in the middle of it smoking, and it's me and him. And he's like he's got to go past me, but he's walking, and I just like kind of crumbled.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry to do this, man, but like, you're the reason I play drums, and like, you're my hero, and can I just get a picture with you? And he kind of steps back and sized me up a little bit, and I was just like, immediately crushed. I'm just like, he's gonna be every nightmare I've heard. Like, don't meet your heroes. This is gonna suck. And he just like looks at me and smiles, and he's like, fuck yeah, bro. What's your name? And then I was like, oh, my name's Kyle, and I play for 36 Crazyfists, and I do this, and I do that, and like, I love you so much, and you're so cool. And like, I was just a fucking idiot.
Just let it all out.
Like, I was fucking going nuts. And then he like, everyone kind of realizes it's him that I'm talking to, and so he gets bombarded. Oh, and I'm like, "Fuck!" I give him.
Wait, this is backstage though.
Yeah. So like, there's press and
whatever. So he's not even safe backstage.
It doesn't seem like it. I mean, it's download, so it's not like just a Motley Crue show. It's everyone. He's not getting bombarded by like just press or fans, you know, because there's not many fans back there. But just everyone that's like, "Oh, hey, Tommy, what's up?"
Yeah, yeah.
Just getting.
He's a magnet.
Hey.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, I'll catch you later, dude. And I go back to the dressing room, and then I hear this like, excuse me, and I look outside and like see his tall head like coming through the crowd, like straight for the dressing room. I'm like, the fuck? And he's like, hey man, Kyle, I just wanted to say like it was really good to meet you, man. Best of luck with everything, dude. Like,
how sweet.
He was like the coolest fucking guy. And for him to do that is cool for anyone, but for me to do that was like, he doesn't understand what that did for me.
Right. Dude, yeah.
That was
he
like...
He said your fucking name.
That was such a lesson in, like, it doesn't matter who you are, how big you are, what you've done in life. Like, he's not only Tommy Lee, the drummer of Motley Crue. Like, everyone on the planet knows him because he had the porno with Pam. He had this, he had that. He's like, everyone in the fucking world knows who that guy is, basically. And he didn't have to give me the time of day, and he did. So if he can, why can't anyone else?
Yeah.
Like, you're never too big to say thank you or say,
that's such,
you know what I mean? Or smile at someone.
It's such a crazy thing because he must know. I mean, that's not the first time that has happened to him.
Right.
That same scenario has happened 1,000 times in 1,000 different ways, more than 1,000. So he must know the weight of what he holds for people.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing.
And he must respect it.
Yeah, and it's like, that's why it's such a bummer when they're assholes.
Yeah, and you can know that.
Yeah.
But you can know it and respect it and be like, man.
He knows I can either fuck over this guy and make him feel rotten for the next month, or I can like totally encourage him to keep playing and
or just enough
have a good fucking
just
day.
Enough to say hi. Even I went up to Slash and I was like, hey man, can I get a picture? And he was just like, nah, man. And security was like, no.
Yeah.
But Slash leaned over and he was like, hey man, if I fucking take one with you, I have to take one with everyone. Nothing personal.
Totally
and I was like, dude, I get it.
Slash
but he reached his hand out to shake my hand. He was like,
yeah,
cheers, man. And that enough right there, that was even enough for me.
Yeah.
Like, because people forget how big these people are. And
totally.
That's why I don't tend to do that. But for me, that was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see two dudes that if I don't say hi right now, I can't ever maybe again.
Yeah.
And I just had to do it. Like,
so you're glad you did?
Absolutely. The 15-year-old, 14, the fucking 31-year-old in me today is so happy that I did it.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like, if I were you, that'd be like a bookmark in my life. Like,
that's
that is
like bucket list shit.
Yeah, that's a transformative moment.
You know what that meant.
That's.
Like,
I remember when I saw that picture, I'm like, okay, like the whole world made sense. Like, fucking A met B, you know, and black meant white. Like, it was this thing where like these two hemispheres of the world that always needed to come together. At least in my world, they did. I was just like, I was like, what is my equivalent of that? And I don't even.
I was just going to ask you that.
Yeah.
Well, I got a story that's like a super whack version of Kyle's where not only because the dude wasn't my hero, but I also just completely bombed the whole thing. When I was like 19, I think, I was on tour. We were in Chicago, and we were walking into some like restaurant or something. And as I'm about to walk in, out the door of the neighboring Jamba Juice walks Nick Kroll. Do you know who Nick Kroll is?
Yeah, totally.
he walks out, and I didn't even know his name. I was just like, dude, I've seen you on like one of those VH1, like fucking Behind the 90s or whatever. And he like has a couple like one-liners, whatever. And
Behind the 90s?
yeah, or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah,
Those
like
talking head, like
yeah, and it'll cut to somebody, or it might not even have been VH1. It could have been like True TV, and it's like Dumbest Criminals, and it'll cut to like some like B-level comedian, and they have like these quips about whatever they're seeing.
Oh, Nick Kroll's awesome.
Yeah, Nick Kroll, like now he's hilarious.
mouth
Back then he
and- yeah.
wasn't, there wasn't shit going on for him. But he walks out and he's got Jamba Juice, and I was like, fuck, I recognize him, like he's a celebrity. And in my like stupid 19-year-old head, I was like, you need to like make your presence known to him. Like, when are you ever gonna have this shot?
Christ.
And I'm just like, but here's the thing: when you force yourself into somebody's world, but you have no connection to them or even give a fuck about them, it's gonna come off very forced and shitty.
Yep.
So I'm looking at him long enough for him to look at me like, what does this creep want? And as I'm locking eyes with him, I just go, Jamba Juice. And he goes, yep. And he walks away. And I was like, sick.
Well, see you later.
Yeah, it was tight though, because like,
That's so Dumb and Dumber.
I know.
I was big
Big
gulps,
gulps.
huh?
Yeah.
Big
Just
gulps,
hanging
huh?
out for 30 seconds. Well, yeah, no, he didn't even break stride. He was walking the whole fucking time. And then, of course, at 19, I considered that a win. I was like, dude, I just fucking talked to... No, he thinks you're some creep. Doesn't give a fuck about you. Yeah, that was...
That's fucking awesome.
And then the only other time was when I was out with our buddy Kyle Castronova, his band, Mortified Mortician. I filled in, and that was like this goth metal band, so I had to wear like fucking face paint
I can't
the whole
believe
time.
that you did that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you
It's because I
doing that.
turned it down.
Yeah, for sure. I believe that. So
Just joking. I love you,
Sick
Kyle.
burn.
I love you, Kyle.
so I'm out there, and I think we're in fucking New York, and we're at this place. We had to play at 5 because at like 8 o'clock it turns into a gay club. So the owner was very much like, I'm gonna make way more money on this gay club shit than your guys' weird little rock and roll show.
Yeah.
So hurry up, get out of here. And so I'm like quickly packing up after our set, and Wednesday, the headliner, he's about to go on, and I see Ari Shafir walk in, who a lot of people know him as the Amazing Racist.
Is this in L.A.?
This is in New York, and
The comedian Ari Shafir.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I see him walk in, and I'm like, holy shit. And I'm trying to tell Ryan, our bassist. He doesn't know who the fuck it is. And I'm trying to tell Kyle, the guitarist. He doesn't know. And I'm just like, well, dude, I got to go, like, say hi. And I walk up behind him, and Cold Blue Rebels is about to go on. They were, it actually wasn't Wednesday. It was, after us was Cold Blue Rebels. And I think he was a fan of the band because he was, like, looking at them setting up, and, like, they were kind of sound checking, and he seemed really stoked. So I went up behind him before the set started so I could say hi. And I tap him on the shoulder, and as he's turning around, I realized, dude, I have like fucking corpse paint on. Like I look fucking insane, and like the sweat had kind of like worn some of it down. And
So it didn't even look
serial
like
killer.
good corpse paint.
no, it wasn't even. I just looked fucking
Post-show
homeless.
corpse paint.
Yeah, and I was just like, I go, hey man, like I'm not trying to like get a crowd or anything, but I just want to say like I'm a fan. Shook his hand. He just didn't say a word to me. He just kind of he went. Like he just kind of like made this weird moan noise and then just like nodded his head up and down.
Weird.
And
he
I was
doesn't
like-
seem like a very nice guy.
Yeah, he kind of doesn't. He also, I think, honestly, I think it's more like a social anxiety of like,
Yeah.
I kind of hoped I'd come here and none of you would know who I am because this is not my crowd. And then one of you psychopaths.
How long ago was this?
This would have been 2014.
Oh, okay, so he was definitely known at that point.
Yeah, he was for sure known.
He'd been on the Rogan podcast, and
Yeah, he was like he was a regular.
That is a thing that people forget a lot about, though. Like, even if people wait their whole lives to meet someone, they tend to forget that, like, maybe he's having a bad day.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
it sucks that you have that luck sometimes to where people are dicks. Like, maybe they are just dicks, but at the same time, you have no idea what they're going through.
Yeah.
Their fucking dog might have just got run over, you know? Like,
Absolutely.
They might be late on bills, too. Like, just because they're a fucking musician or a comedian or just a person in general that you look up to, like, doesn't mean they don't have their own fucking problems.
Totally.
Absolutely.
And that is where I've always kind of just tried to remember that, which is why I
It's important.
try not to freak out when I see people.
Well, it's
but
also
there's
like-
certain people you just can't
you
help
don't-
it, dude. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
When you don't like them, you don't know them. You're not their friend, so you don't like them because they're good guys. You like them because they're a good drummer, or you looked up to them for different reasons. So that's kind of how I feel like Maynard James Keeney. I always heard he's total fucking asshole. A lot of actors are assholes.
Yeah.
I've heard that about actors a lot.
Yeah, I don't fucking care.
Right.
I like Daniel Day-Lewis because he's one of the best actors of all time. I like his art.
Well,
I'm
that's
a
sort
fan
of
of his art.
Totally.
That's sort of why approaching
It's
him in the
irrelevant.
first place is it's coming from a flawed place because
It is.
you are going up
Actually.
to somebody to tell them that you appreciate their craft, but you both know that you know nothing about them as a person.
That's right.
So it's this weird thing where you go up to validate what they do and, hey, you've been on my TV and it caused some enjoyment in my life.
Yeah.
But that's such a lack of like personability too, because you're not even saying like I approve of you as a person.
Yeah.
You're just like I like your skill, and I think that's obviously more meaningless than if you knew them, if they were like a friend that you knew something about or invested into, or
Totally.
yeah, it's a weird thing.
In one sense, though, like on what you're saying, I don't think it's necessarily meaningless because you can, if someone comes up to you and tells you, I like this about you and I like that, whatever, that's amazing that they would take their time out of their day to say that.
True. Yeah.
But if they're
You're talking bigger picture stuff.
No,
though.
I'm saying like if they're coming.
That's what Alan is doing.
No, right.
It's meaningless in a bigger picture.
if
It's
the-
not actually meaningless.
Totally.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if they like your art or whatever, that's awesome. But are they saying it to you because they really appreciate that, or are they saying it to you so they can go tell someone I talked to so and so?
Yeah.
And that's where it, like, for those dudes on that level, that's
Yeah,
where
like
I
straight
can
up
see like
celebrities,
why
yeah.
it's like fuck
Like,
this.
think how many times Slash has that happen to him.
And he's noticeable everywhere. Like, even if you don't know he plays guitar, everyone knows who that face is.
You
the
know
top
it?
hat,
Yeah.
the hair,
That's
the
a celebrity.
glasses, that's fucking
Yep.
Slash. Everyone in the
Totally.
world knows who he is.
Yeah.
You might think he plays in Fleetwood Mac, but he's still Slash.
And that's why I kind of
Yeah.
feel like, in all fairness, the dudes that turn themselves into a mascot, I feel like you should never say no to a picture because
You're kind of asking
you're
for it, too.
wearing your hair that way. Like if
wears a
Slash
fucking
was like,
top
dude,
hat.
I'm tired of being recognized, and he shaved his fucking head and like gained 200 pounds, I'd be like, all right, nobody bug him anymore
Word,
because
yeah.
that he's putting his money where his mouth is.
Yeah.
But if he keeps like dressing that way, he wants to be noticed. But
No.
but at the same time, I will also digress and say that just because you do something people dig doesn't mean you should lose your quality of life.
Exactly.
And get fucking bombarded.
Exactly.
Because he didn't do that for
That was who he was before that shit.
right. He was just into just like you and I.
think he's more like fucking real for being like, fuck,
Yeah.
but I'm not changing. I'm
Yeah.
not going into hiding.
Right, yeah, I got to quit guitar and shit because too many people want pictures from it.
Yeah.
Like, you're never going to stop.
He just does what he's like, nope, I'm going to have a big motherfucker in front of me saying, nope, you can't have that.
Right.
But
Yeah.
he's still nice,
And-
respectful, and
Yep.
just sorry. That's
It's-
just nope.
Well, yeah, because if he just didn't show up to download, how many people would he piss off then? So it's like you kind of can't
A
win.
lot less than Axel has over the years.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Shit, did I say
It's
that?
crazy. It's crazy to think too with like the whole podcasting wave. You know how big podcasts are now. The Fighter and the Kid, Joe Rogan, whatever. You know, and I've heard them talk about how it is kind of a different thing now. Like if you were to go and talk to Brian Callen or Brendan Schaub, Joe Rogan, any of the guys we listen to a lot, they already know that you know a lot more about them than if they were Tom Cruise.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Tom Cruise doesn't do a show 2 to 3 times a week where he's just talking the way we're talking right now. We're talking like human beings.
Yeah, Tom
Totally.
Cruise
We're not
could
doing
be
a fucking interview.
Absolutely.
Tom Cruise could be 375 pounds right now. Would any of us know? Like
Right.
we would have no fucking idea.
would
The
have
way
no
that
idea.
the way they film movies and shit, like
Oh, I know.
it's so in advance. So you're like, but no, I just saw him in a movie last
and
Sunday.
anytime
Yeah, they
those-
filmed that 2 years ago.
Anytime those cocksuckers are on interview, they're not being themselves. Like The
Right.
Rock is never actually genuine. It's like this, you know, they have publicists and they learn how to do interviews. They're like politicians.
Yeah.
It's not they're very sensitive about what they say so they don't get in trouble, especially these days. But yeah, like with podcaster type of people, they're more or less being more genuine.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you did meet someone like that, it would, at least for me, it would still be like a start. Like, God, if you met Rogan, it'd be like, holy shit, that's like a legit celebrity. But I feel like there'd be at least some starting point. You've heard this man talk for 3 hours an episode for how many years now?
Right, yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just kind of different now, which I think is great. It's kind of putting down those barriers of like, I'm the star and you're the fan.
And ironically
You know,
enough,
it's kinda making-
I wonder if that helps. Like, there's no way to like clinically figure this out, but I do wonder if between Slash and Joe Rogan, if one of them giving themselves to the people every day for 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
Sometimes twice a day for 3 hours at a time. Does that, like giving that much of yourself to the people, does that cause those interactions to be a little less nutty, just like per capita?
Right. I think so.
I part of me thinks absolutely.
Or maybe it's even worse for Rogan.
Or it's worse because you're maybe
Because now they actually do think they're friends. And it's
especially
like,
Rogan specifically, because this
oh, yeah,
podcast does
specifically
stupid
for him.
numbers.
Right.
So he's almost kind of a bad example. You want to go somebody a little lower down,
Do you like Brandon Schaub?
right?
One of those guys. Or, I don't know.
But even they
Tom
say,
Segura.
they get those people that they're just fucking they're so oblivious. You know, that every comedian has their biggest complaint is when they're going to take pictures and the person in the group that's going to take the picture, like a grandma or a mom that doesn't care about the comedian, but the kids are like, "Grandma, take a picture of me with Joe Rogan," and the grandma can't like work the camera.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the oldest,
Right.
fucking
Figure it
gripe
out.
ever. Yeah, but
I would
mean,
hate being touched all the time. I think if I were one of those people, just like the bro, they put their
Dude.
fucking arm around you, and they're like, "Eh."
and they're wasted, so they're like
Is
talking.
it pre or post show?
Oh fuck! I mean,
Post show's probably worse.
post show's probably a goddamn nightmare.
You know what it's like to just fucking give everything you have on stage, especially as drummers, dude. You just ran on a treadmill for an hour. Then you get off stage, you're disgusting and fucking.
Yeah, well, if
drained.
they want to hug that, they can take all my shit they want.
That's
I
true.
mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're.
Yeah, and I'm a hugger anyway. I like hugs, but I get what you're saying.
You know.
I don't really like I guess the mentality, and not that like I've experienced it or whatever, but I've felt it like as a person, like going to a show. Like when I was younger, I would feel like, well, I bought the ticket, and like why aren't you at the merch table after you just played? Like, why?
I deserve it. Yeah.
Not I deserve it, but just like, why aren't they doing that? Like, now I fucking get it.
No, you
'Cause,
get it.
like,
It's a job.
you go to work for 8 hours a day, and they've been here for 8 hours today. They just clocked off. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
give them at least a half
Give
an
'em a
hour to come
second.
out and get a break. You know, like,
Fucking hell yeah, man.
you know,
Yeah, I think it's different for everyone. Like, I don't care about meeting Chino from Deftones. It's never been.
shit. Fuck.
I mean,
I
actually,
have a
I actually
funny-ass
did meet
Chino
him.
story, actually.
I actually did meet him, and he was the nicest, sweetest guy ever.
He was the sweetest. I met him for literally half a second.
Technically, I've hung out with him twice. I smoked a joint with him when I was like 18 years old.
Damn.
He's one of the
Oh, well,
nicest guys
That's way cooler than my
fucking
story.
ever.
That is seriously cooler
But
than my story.
but the point being, I actually don't care. Like
Right.
I go to a Deftones show to watch one of my favorite bands of all time play,
Yeah.
and I'm
Which
just like,
a
I
Deftones
walk
show
away.
is definitely one that everyone should see
Agreed.
at one point in their life.
Yeah, you probably don't have a whole lot of time to catch another one
I
either.
don't know, man. They're coming out with a new record, supposedly.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
down.
man.
Supposedly.
what's up with 36 and new music and new records, and what's the status on that?
I think we're going to take this year to start writing the next one and record that.
Fantastic.
And then maybe do some festivals this summer. I haven't heard.
So no
much
real
about that,
touring
but-
until then.
Not
Wow.
right now. We don't have much. There's been talks of some things, but
So what's your plan then with all that sort of downtime?
I'm just trying to
Book some gigs,
play drums
Yeah.
and have fun, man. Yeah, like
That's cool.
I play in Ligature Marks, this band from town that you
Yeah,
know.
we had Carl on the show.
Me and Carl and Ben, Dave and Josh, we've got that going. So we have a show on February 24th at the Boston Nova.
Very cool.
We're also in the studio, kind of just throwing things around, just to figure out our own way about, like, you know, this day and age. You could release an EP every 6 months, or you could release like a song a month.
Yeah,
you
everything's
know, and
changing.
Still, like,
Yeah.
just figuring out how to keep the buzz going and all that. And I'm just really trying to keep playing drums and have fun, man, to be
Cool.
honest with you. So looking forward to writing with 36, but also looking forward to just keep playing and doing my thing.
Yeah, because like you could totally, I mean, and you kind of are already, but like Portland's Josh Freese, you know, the mercenary drummer,
Oh,
the
shit.
drummer for hire.
Well, that's
Yeah.
a crazy...
You could do it,
Yeah, because I mean, you did. I mean, just off the top
well,
of my
as long
head,
as this motherfucker isn't...
competing.
I say no to shit a lot. So
Because he's...
And then if I step in
he's
the
been on
ring,
just
you
as
guys
much
don't
as
have
I
a
have.
fucking shot. So I mean, I'll just step out.
Yeah.
I'll just stand in the corner.
yeah, I'm too busy. I really wanted it when Carl hit me up to do that show. I really did. You end up doing it?
Which one?
The whatever the show Carl asked me to do.
I don't remember, but...
November
like,
sometime, I think. I don't even know.
yeah, there's been like 3 dudes that we've called, and
Oh, really?
not one can do it. It's you, Kyle, and Justin Salinas. And
Oh, okay, yeah. Because Justin's living around here now, right?
yep,
I think he's practicing. He's practicing in that room.
I
Yeah.
think he's literally there right now.
Yeah,
Justin is in that room right now.
I
think
think
so.
so. Yeah.
He might be.
Because there was a kid in there when we were first setting up in here weeks ago. It said the word alive on the kick drum, and I was like, "Is that Justin?" And he was
He
like,
was
"Yeah."
there last night as soon as you left. The
Oh,
studio.
really?
Yeah, he was here.
Oh,
With his
that's hilarious.
girlfriend.
Fuck that! I'm gonna text.
They're
him
making
right
some
now.
trippy noises in there. It's pretty cool.
If he is here right now, that would be a fucking trip.
Do you know what?
I haven't seen.
What's
him.
that band that he's doing?
I don't know.
I
It's,
don't know.
it's him and his
That-
girl.
That's why I'm gonna text him. Be like,
Dude, it was like
dude.
stoner, like I don't even know how to explain it.
What and what she do? Is she singing?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
so.
okay.
But there's no drums.
Oh, weird.
They could have just been smoking
Dude,
pot and having fun. I don't know what they're
If
doing.
he's here, that would be so funny. I love that dude. I
Hey,
can't wait to see him on a kid again. To be honest with you.
I know.
Let's
a
let's
shredder.
take a quick break. I need to take a hot piss.
Yeah, I need to
take
as
a
well.
piss, maybe smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, let's take a $5 and we'll come back and do some current events, do a movie pick of the week, and a couple more questions with our homeboy, and then we'll let him go.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back.
Take time to cut it out of you. That insane is deafening, and only cause it's true. Worlds collide and fail at the same time. Abandoned by the closest on your side and left to die.
La place blanche à mauvaise mine. Les camions sont pleins de lait.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Il est 5 heures.
Did everyone have a good break?
Yeah.
Yep.
I smoked a clove cigaretto like a poser out there.
I peed in the sink instead of the toilet. Is that okay?
Saves more water apparently.
Fuck yeah, it does.
I used to work with this girl that she told me her boyfriend would pee in the sink every
Yeah.
night because he thought it was cleaner. And we both looked at her and we were like, that's really weird behavior. She's like, I don't know what you mean. Why is that so weird? Like, he's peeing in the kitchen sink because he thinks that's more hygienic? What
Yeah.
the fuck is what?
Well, I mean, I
It's like
guess
serial killer shit.
That would,
it is
Well,
only.
I mean, I guess.
It is only that. Well, first of all, let's start at one. Right, pee is sterile, so he could pee directly into her mouth and it's clean. But
Yeah.
toilets are known to be dirtier than sinks.
You're not going to win this one.
I feel like I
It's-
already did.
It's a kitchen where you eat food and your dishes are.
Yeah, true. But he's not like pissing on a loaf of bread or anything. It's
Let's just take the hygienic part out of the equation.
Yeah.
You don't pee in a kitchen. Pee in the
Yeah.
bathroom. Pee,
Dude,
pee,
my
and
dad
poo-poo,
does.
go in
That's
that
one of
thing.
my
What about
dad's
in the
favorite
kitchen
things to
sink?
do.
What, pee in the sink?
Yeah, like it's specifically the kitchen sink.
I don't fucking get that. Really?
Yeah.
Ugh. Why?
If he were here right
Why
now,
not?
if he were here right now, he'd go, yeah.
I
and
can say why not,
and
but
I-
why?
I
Let's
pee in
answer
the
that
kitchen.
first.
I'm trying to tell you what my dad would say.
Okay.
My dad would say he would admit to peeing in the kitchen sink, and he would probably say, and I do it from the living room couch. That's what he would say. 'Cause he's got a big ass dick.
Yeah, okay.
He likes to tell everybody.
Super dad joke. Yeah,
Yep.
I get it. I love it.
He always talk about like it's like he's Ric Flair and his dick is a boa.
Right.
Like he just puts it around his fucking neck.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
No, honestly, like that would fucking suck.
oh, it sucks.
he's
so
not
much.
suffering from it. He's living with it. You know,
Oh.
that's how he sees it.
God, that's so good.
It's much like cancer. His big ass dick is a lot like cancer.
All right. On the break, I asked the boys to think of a couple drummers that inspired them and all that good stuff.
It wasn't a couple. You said 3.
Let's do 3. Let's start with our esteemed guest. What do you got, bud?
Well, definitely Tommy Lee. That's got to be first and
Okay.
foremost.
How come? What about
Um,
Tommy Lee?
The fact, I think, well, initially as a kid, it's just the style and the presence, the twirling, the just everything about him
The
was so,
pizzazz.
like over
Yeah,
the
yeah.
top. I mean, he looked so fucking cool.
Right.
And then as you get older and you realize he like really is a good drummer, he's really got that bounce and that pocket and that shit.
Yeah, he is legitimately good.
Like he's not overrated at all. Another one for sure is definitely, God, there's so many, but I was trying to think of like 3 that like really shaped it. But Brandon Steinekert, he plays drums for Rancid now, but he's the original drummer for The Used.
Okay.
I fucking loved him growing
Cool.
up. I still do. But the stuff he did on the first 2 Used records is just so like unique. Like he had a way of doing beats that you wouldn't think of doing on like certain things that it's hard to explain for me. It's just like I was just very attracted to it.
Right. I was just gonna say,
like
for whatever reason.
I just loved his style and his flavor that he added to everything, and so he's definitely up there for me. And then the third, I can't not talk about it, but Thomas Noonan from the drummer I replaced in 36 definitely is like shaped who I am stylistically more than anybody, I think. Alan knows how like fucking I don't talk about it much because it's kind of weird, but I always give respect to Thomas, but Alan knows how like literally obsessed with Thomas I was back in the day. Like,
Is he lying or is he telling the
No,
truth?
I mean we legit
Like-
bonded over that. Thomas was for sure going to be one of mine. Yeah,
Nice.
that's
what's
a no-brainer.
Thomas doing these days?
Thomas is an artist now.
I was gonna feel so bad if you said he was dead or something.
No, he just got married actually to this beautiful lady named Erin. She's awesome. Cheers, guys. But yeah, he's just doing art, man.
Like killer, like
amazing portrait artist.
pencil
Like,
portraits.
It's insane.
Yeah.
The
Cool.
stuff that- like,
he does shit with a pencil. It makes it look like a black and white photo, like not even
Wow.
drawn, just like somebody snapped a picture. It's insane.
Yeah, it's
Like,
nuts.
super talented.
Yeah, he's one of those annoying guys that was baller at something, quit doing it so that he could go be baller at something else. He just had like this insane, like superhuman skill just as a backup. Ridiculous.
All right, what do you get, Alan?
Fuck. I honestly didn't think about him this whole time until right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, we've already done a show where it's like all about favorite drummers. So just off the top of your head, this doesn't have to be the definitive 3, like just 3, some of the 3.
Yeah, Thomas, obviously, really, really big deal to me, and I think that I came across him at a point where I had already gotten some of that beginner kind of drumming out of my system. I think that a lot of what I appreciate about Thomas, I wouldn't have been able to fully appreciate or even comprehend if he was one of the first drummers I came across. So like for me, one of the first was Joey Jordison from Slipknot was a really big deal because he kind of had that extreme style of playing, but it was still modern. Because I always say that my trifecta musically, just in terms of bands, was Tool, Metallica, and Pantera. And between those 3, I kind of learned a lot about like odd time signatures and melody from Tool, but then aggression from Pantera, but then kind of like songwriting, like legendary songwriting from Metallica. So I was able to kind of, and of course each of those guys had something that the other guy had, and
Right.
you know there was a lot of like intermingling that could happen with those 3 projects. But I started with that, and then by the time I came across 36 and Thomas, I was able to appreciate like just the really sharp transitions and fills, and it felt like every single hit was well thought out, and that wasn't something that I noticed with a lot of other drummers that I looked up to.
Nice.
So Thomas, Joey, and then I guess I mean I would say then I'd probably say Chris Robin, who was in Far.
Fuck yeah, Alan.
And then
damn.
and then Black Map,
So proud of you.
which is that's a newer one for me. We've talked about
guy
that
is
before.
Fucking pure power.
Yeah, he is a fucking
Animal.
he's just a wood chipper of a drummer.
Workhorse.
Yeah.
He plays open-handed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So fucking rad.
Just hits crazy hard and
Yeah.
like also kind of
Do
has
you
that
like Far?
Thomas
Do
thing.
you hear Far? I think
too
you'd
familiar, to be
probably
honest with
like
you.
him. Like
I
if you like Deftones and shit.
Far's a little early for both Kyle and I. Like
Yeah, a little
I've
bit
definitely
early.
heard of the band, but
But I mean, they were going when Deftones was like
yeah.
around the Fur era.
Yeah, no, I'm very familiar with the
90s.
name. I would always see him on like a tour ad mat with
Yeah.
Deftones or, a similar band.
Cool.
And you?
I will do, as always, pay homage to Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
He's my guy. He's like why I started drumming for sure. Like old Nirvana videos and shit. I respect him so much as a songwriter. I think he taught me to play drums as though you're writing a riff, something catchy. So don't just play drums to a song. Do something that's memorable. And what I also love about him is he plays drums the way you're supposed to play drums, which is to say you're supposed to play with conviction. It's not just about hitting hard for the sake of hitting hard. There's a different way. We all know this.
Right.
Like you'll see people who are not drummers. It's like all limp wristed.
Yep.
And it's like, that's why it sounds like shit. Hit it like you fucking mean it. Hit the fucking thing. Bam. Like fucking do it. And that's one of the many reasons I love Dave.
To that point, really quick, Kyle knows him. His name's Colin, my old bassist. Still probably my best friend. He would always
Still probably.
maybe, yeah. I'm considering it.
We'll
Shit,
see.
man.
Fucking
Literally every day I wake up and I go, is he? And I haven't decided today.
he better prove it.
Hi, Colin.
Yeah. He would always give me shit / props, I guess, at the same time. When we're checking my kit before a show, he'd be like, bro, you never tune your shit and it always sounds good. And I would always, like the caveman drummer
Right.
that I am, I go, I just fucking hit it as
You
hard
just
as I
hit it.
can. Like,
Dude, there's
I
some
don't
truth to
even.
that, man. Dave
there-
Grohl still to this day claims that he doesn't really know how to tune a drum set.
I can't tune drums for shit.
Yeah.
You shouldn't learn. It's fucking bullshit. Just
Yeah.
fucking hit the thing.
Just make sure the
tune it.
head is on there
Yeah.
enough and then just
Tune it
I am,
ish.
I am fucking awful. At
Yeah,
tuning.
same.
Dude.
I'm
And then
just-
there's like the opposite end of the spectrum where like guys like Danny Carey will tune their shells
Dude.
to like the song, like to notes.
Yeah.
That's fucking
I
crazy.
mean, I would love to be
shit.
able to do that, but I
Yeah.
also am too lazy to
No, you got
practice.
shit to do.
that.
Dude, Danny Carey has like mathematical. He's a fucking witch doctor.
He's a
like,
witch doctor.
It's just based on like the barometric pressure in the room and shit.
Oh
Like
yeah,
he goes.
He's up there for me, but for
He goes too
tonight,
far.
he won't make the 3. He'll make like top 5. So number 2, I'll do. Who do I want to do? I'll do Jason Gherkin. Jason Gherkin is the drummer of a band called Shiner, who's arguably the biggest influence for me and a lot of like Crummett and stuff and all
Yeah.
those dudes. So he played in a band called Shiner. He played in a band called Molly Maguire. He played for a band called Hum. He is just pure attitude. He plays a lot of like behind the beat stuff. So like a lot of halftime drumming, like that kind of shit. Just
Stuttered
just
out.
fucking badass.
Rad.
A lot of cymbal grabs and like Tommy Lee type attitude,
Mm-hmm.
And so he reminded me to play with attitude
Cool.
to bring it. Who do I want to do for third tonight? I'll pay homage to Matt Cameron from Soundgarden, and
Okay.
now currently Pearl Jam. But
Good call.
yeah, Matt Cameron is try air drumming along with Soundgarden.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
It's way harder than you think.
Totally.
So fucking good.
There's a lot of drummers out there that are like that people like will listen to it. and
Yeah.
like, oh, I could play that.
I could do that.
And I mean, like, that's a perfect example. But I mean, something that not to take away from Matt Cameron, not anything, but to
Yeah.
Phil Rudd. Like, if you listen to AC/DC,
Yes.
that shit's easy.
That's
to
a
play.
really good example.
Like accents
Super good
that
example.
are weird timed and like it's fucking not just
Yes.
AC/DC like you think it is.
Right.
If you isolated the drums or even if you just pay attention to them, they are so not what you think they are.
I love that.
Absolutely. That's a really good example. Like, I mean, even like, bump, da-na-na,
Yeah.
da-na-na, da-na-na-na-na, don't, da-na-na, da-na, da-doo, 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 da-da-doo. Just that tat and back.
Right, and you could have 10 people play that, and a majority
You'll
of them
get 10
might.
different ways.
Yep,
Yeah,
they'll do it.
A majority of them
but
are
it's
going to.
not the same.
Yeah, there is a way to attack.
Absolutely.
I just changed up a song that we wrote forever ago. We practiced Monday. I just changed up how I hit every cymbal, and not only does it feel better, I can actually hear a difference in the sound too.
Oh, wow.
Because instead
Yep.
of starting with my left hand, I'm allowing, even though I'm coming off my right, which the logic initially was you're coming off your right hand, so your left hand is more free to hit harder, but my right hand is what I'm most comfortable with. So now I switch, and it was crazy. Just sonically, I can hear a difference, and then that opened up this whole like,
That's dope.
what other things am I not being efficient with my hitting? But yeah, I'm sure he plays it. He has tried doing it different ways, and he knows that song better than anybody else, obviously. So
Yeah.
he hits a certain way, and other people are going to get up there. How you hear something isn't exactly the best way to play it. And I think that's kind of where these dudes that you guys are talking about, that's where their effects come in.
Listen to this beginning of Let Me Drown from Soundgarden. Listen to this fucking beat.
Yeah, see,
so
that sounds
sexy, dude.
that sounds so simple, and I would have to listen to that for just a second to like.
It's really not.
That's
though.
not like hear it
Because
one
he's
time
actually
and then
doing like with his like ghost notes with the left.
Exactly, yeah. I wonder what sorts of things in songs that I love can I not hear because
Yeah.
it just wasn't. Because I know for me, I've recorded a lot of songs where there's a really sick, like just a slick little use of like bell
Yeah.
or like a ghost note on the
It
snare or
changes
something,
everything.
and it wasn't picked up by a mic, and so the beat sounds really simple. What other like legendary drummers or bands that I look up to? Am I thinking I know how to play it, but when they go to play it live, they play it the way they played it in the studio, but mics didn't pick it up
I feel like
correctly.
Abe Cunningham's
Well,
a good example of that.
Sometimes it's not even Mike's not picking it up
Right.
correctly, but like if you listen to like I've heard, well, I could talk to you about this because you know the shit like I do, but like so like I Titan Takers the 36 record,
Mhm.
the fourth one. Holt did that,
Yeah.
so he has a mix of what his version was that he sent off to Sneap to finalize.
Oh, okay.
So on Holt's record, the drums are way fucking snappier, and that's like the record where Thomas really went off.
Yeah,
you
he
know?
did.
And like with Distances Close Minter and Northern November and all that stuff, there's all this ghost note stuff, and like
Dude.
basically the whole record's a drum solo, right?
Dude, some of those full kit beats
So-
that he would build
Right,
were
and it's fucking amazing
cool.
and insane and impossible to figure out. I
Yeah.
still don't know how to play it right. It sucks. But like you listen to the finalized one and there's like a lot of ghosties that you can't hear in there. And
Yeah.
it changes the whole feel of the beat. Like
Right.
it's still right, but it's not like what was intended. If you listen to Holt's mixes, it's way more pronounced and it's like the drums are like right in front of your face, like super slappy, and you can hear exactly what he's doing.
you just
And
hear everything.
it just pisses you off even more if you're a Thomas fan, because you're like, oh, that's what you're really doing?
Yeah.
Fuck,
Yeah.
man, how do you do that?
You're like, I just took the last 5 or 6 years to come to terms with what it was. And now come to find out, you take the mask off and it's a way scarier
Oh, dude.
monster.
But yeah, it's like totally up to the production too, to like what
Yep.
you're, how and like guitars lay over things, and it makes like ghost notes on a snare are the hardest fucking thing to get right.
Yep.
Like it's
I feel like
impossible.
you almost have to call it out initially, like let the producer know, like these are fucking important, like which sucks.
You also have a good thing when you have a producer who like is a drummer.
Yes. Yeah. Oh
Because
yeah.
then they understand what you're saying. Other people are like, oh, it's fine. Like,
Yeah.
nah, man, like
Absolutely.
these they're not ghost notes because we want them to be like invisible.
Yeah. Yeah.
They call
Exactly.
the ghost note is a raw, like the worst name for that.
It really
shit,
is,
'cause,
yeah.
like, they're not supposed to be invisible.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be there. They're just supposed to be like, you know.
Yeah, they're not invisible, they're just quiet, which ghosts aren't known for only being quiet. Yeah, you're right. That's actually gonna bug me for the rest of the night. It's a terrible fucking title.
Awful name.
I think about that with the word selfish. I do this way too much. I think about like English words that are fucking horrible or they sound like little kids came up with the idea. So like a selfish person is somebody that only thinks about themselves. And I feel like at some point that word came about because somebody was like, you're just so fucking self-ish. Like they just couldn't like
Self-ish.
they're just like mad frustrated and they're so angry at this person. You're just so fucking and there isn't a word for it.
You're
so they're
so
just
Jew.
yeah.
Ish.
You're just fucking, it's all about yourself, like ish. It's kind of like that. And it's like, selfish. That's the word. Fuck it.
That is
There's a
really
bunch
funny.
like that. I think about those all the time where I'm like,
Especially that one.
we've gone to the fucking moon. We can't find a better word than selfish. Like, it's so stupid. But anyway.
That's good. Let's do some current events here.
Yeah.
Boy. Let's pull up a couple of the ones we were talking about.
All right, so the first one is that documentary, that R. Kelly documentary, Surviving R. Kelly.
Holy shit.
I didn't even know this was a thing. I found out it was a thing Sunday.
Dude.
And I jammed through all 6 episodes.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, because I just watched a few this morning.
Oh, man.
My wife stayed home from work, and it was playing when I got up. Anyway.
My God.
I need to finish it, but what the fuck?
Dude, he's a chocolate
Why
Charles
is this
Manson.
fucking demon not in prison?
It's fucking
Crazy.
I don't understand. I thoroughly do not understand.
Oh, I'm so glad that you've seen it, Alan, because I wasn't sure.
Oh, dude, watch the whole
Because
thing.
it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
What's the word? The weight of it, or the
or just
my God.
Because I think a lot of people, which not that this is okay, but a lot of people are like, he peed on a 14-year-old. Like they're very.
That's what I thought.
And I get that. It's true. He did do that.
See, looking back on it, I actually thought it was just a pee tape. I forgot the 14-year-old part.
Right.
Kind of the big fucking part of it.
Very 14. And there's even word that she was potentially 13. Like they don't, not that makes it any worse or any better. Like it's still disgusting no matter what. But
he's a fucking monster.
That is the tip of the iceberg.
Tip of the iceberg.
There's a level of, it isn't just the physical abuse and shit. He has this, he's kind of a megalomaniac.
Controlling.
He has a team that these girls, he graduated at some point to sort of trafficking and kidnapping and holding them hostage. They're shitting in buckets.
Are they saying that it's like even today there's women that are like
it's still currently happening? Yes.
Almost like not held captive.
He has like a sex cult. He brainwashes them.
Dude, it's so gross.
Yeah. Ugh. One specific story. This will kind of just like outline everything. They tell you very specifically that he would hang out in front of like high schools. He'd go to the mall. Like he's going to where 17-year-old girls are hanging out. And he meets this one girl. She's 17. He introduces himself. He's like, yeah, I'm in town recording a record. She's like, that's cool. And then he just walks away. She's like, okay, well, I got to meet him. That was sick. And then a few minutes later, his security comes up, gives her a piece of paper with R. Kelly's number on it. It says, Mr. Kelly would like you to call him, whatever. And then it's the typical MO. He would tell her, come to my studio. I think I can make you a star. Mm-hmm. And he, long story short, uses and abuses her for a year. She ends up contracting mono, which then turns into Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is where your immune system attacks your healthy nerve cells, and then R. Kelly ends up, as she's in the ICU for 2 weeks. Her mom is bedside with her, like thinking I'm going to lose my daughter, and R. Kelly just sends a check for $1,000. Oh. And it's the same sort of like. But
there's like 20 to 30.
Oh yeah, that's one of I think he's hitting like Cosby territory where it's like 40 to 50 alleged victims.
He's a man with like so much power especially back then. So much power in the music industry.
He almost has this Donald Trump level of like I did that, cool. Now what?
Right. Yeah.
And he almost does this like it's almost impressive, this like kind of sidestep. And I think that's where like the megalomania comes from, and like the narcissism of this is what I do. I write hit records, and that allows me to abuse people.
There's multiple videos of him fucking underage girls. This isn't up for debate anymore. It's not rumors. It's not.
Yeah.
He said there's videos of him fucking underage women.
Yeah.
Girls.
They were
children.
Yeah, it was all over the internet for a minute, and then it would just like physical copies would hit the streets and stuff for a while, and like the P tape. Yeah, it was a thing that many people saw. It was a 14-year-old girl.
It's just like all the interviews from all the women, and the one girl, she was like a backup singer. What was her name? It was like Stardust or
Sparkle.
Sparkle. Yeah, Sparkle.
Yep. It's her.
What a fucking story. Yeah, she's the aunt of that girl, right?
Her niece is the 14-year-old P-tape girl.
Yeah, she has all this guilt for introducing her niece, who was like an aspiring musician.
Yeah.
Like a little rapper girl.
Yep.
And she brought her to the studio to meet R. Kelly, who was like such a big deal.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's wild. And then he gets married. He married Aaliyah. A lot of people know that. And then
Who was underage.
Yeah, he married her at, I think she was 15. He met her when she was 13.
Ugh.
And then they got married when she was 15.
By the way, this whole time, he was married to an adult woman.
Yeah.
And had kids.
Yeah.
He had like this fake happy life, and then, but in reality, he was fucking peeing on little girls.
It's insane, man. It's just, it's so dark. And I think
So dark.
what makes the whole, I saw all 6 episodes. What makes it really dark is that you don't really hear, you obviously don't hear from R. Kelly. You don't hear from his current record label. You don't hear from people that work for him. You only hear from direct victims or the family of victims.
And you don't even hear from that one girl, the direct victim, the girl in the tape.
Yeah, no,
At least
you
from
don't.
what I saw, right?
No, yeah, she's not on there.
So they're implying that the family was like bought off or scared or something.
Yep. Yeah. One girl says that she contracted herpes from him, and he claims he doesn't have that. There's no way. It's just he has this weird ability. I don't know. He's been afforded the ability just to be like, nah, that ain't true. And he has a legion of fans that are like,
legion.
Leave him
That's why
alone.
his music fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's
Fucking terrible.
Yeah, I don't consider
Dude, that video, the
Ethiopia one.
It's
I was just about to bring that up. Have you heard about this, Kyle? He was in Ethiopia, and he's known for if you Google fucking R. Kelly improv, he's known for, he does his hits, Ignition and all that shit. But at live shows, he's done things. I saw a video where he had some girl come up, she had a rag, and he would sing to her, and the lyrics were directions on what to do with that rag. So he'll be like, wipe off my forehead.
Yeah.
And she'd like wipe off his forehead. He goes, stick it in my mouth.
Stick it in my mouth.
And she would put the rag in his mouth. He's like, wipe down my tongue.
He's just singing directions.
And then he's like having her bring the rag lower. Okay, now my chest. And it's on his chest. Now put it on my dick. And it's on it. Like, it's fucking crazy. And I'm laughing the whole time. Like, how can anybody be turned on by this? But there's a sea of women that are like, oh my God.
Like it's a strip club.
So he's known for doing that. But he does it recently in Ethiopia. But his version of sexiness there is the furthest thing from sexy. He starts improving and he just goes, do you have your passport? Did you get your shots?
Did you get your shots?
And he goes, do you want to come home with Rob to America?
He refers to himself as Rob.
Calls himself Rob, not sexy. Come back to America. Is it 1982? What the fuck? Like, that is insane. And then, yeah, here it is.
I got it.
I think this is
Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Girl, would you like to come back with Rob to America?
Wait, let's rewind that one more time.
I got it. Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Girl, would you like to come back with Rob to America?
With Rob. What a nerd.
I love that he's worried about shots. Meanwhile, he's got enough STDs to kill a big cat. Like, what the fuck? What shots?
Yeah.
What is he
shots?
worried about catching?
That's such a good point.
It's fucking crazy.
Did you
how he
get your
said,
shots?
I got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got
Like
it.
he didn't plan that.
Yeah.
That was not improv
What
at
a
all.
Yeah.
dork.
You know
It's-
what? You know where you're playing, dude.
Listen.
What
It's
a
fucked up
dork.
you thought about that. No, man. So here's the thing about that. I haven't seen it yet.
Do you have the
because,
trailer for the series?
I do,
Like,
yeah.
I've seen, what it's all about
Yeah.
and all that shit, but I haven't watched it, so I don't know how fucked up it is. My whole thing with it is, I don't need to see it to know how fucked up it is. Like, that's just rule number one. You don't fuck
So
with
true.
kids.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That's
pretty good standard
green
to live by.
Green light for me, Like,
Yeah.
fuck that shit. So I almost don't like. It's not gonna do me any good to see that about someone that's
Right.
Like I don't want to watch it. It fucking disgusts me.
Yeah, it'll
So,
full on just bum you out.
like,
That's all it did to
I
me.
don't. It's yeah.
Yeah, no, dude, fuck yeah. If you don't need to see it, do not. I didn't need to either, and I have this like perverse thing. It's the same reason I listen to Sword and Scale and
No, I haven't seen the trailer, but let's see if it's even a legitimate thing. I was blown away, man.
it is catchy. I'm fucking singing it to myself.
Yeah. Do you have your shots? Did you get your passport? Did you get your shots?
That's so fucking.
With Rob to America.
There's a difference between R. Kelly and Robert. R. Kelly's this fun, laughing, loving guy. But Robert is the devil.
I was just going to say as a
R. Kelly is
demon.
at the top of the charts, but he may be in for a fall. He was arrested today on 21 counts of child pornography.
Kelly is accused of videotaping himself having sex with an underage girl.
Taking advantage of minors will not be tolerated.
Jurors found him not guilty on all charges.
Robert has said all along he would be cleared of these terrible charges.
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Milk R. Kelly! Milk R. Kelly! Milk R. Kelly! Milk R. Kelly!
We got a tip that she's here.
She's not in.
R. Kelly has denied accusations that he's holding women against their will in a sex cult.
Dave said he loved you so much. I should have never introduced her to him. I should have never introduced my family to him.
He's the puppet master.
It was very scary because I knew at that moment I had a secret.
Sparkle is alleged to have received significant payment.
I didn't take the money because I can't be bought. He ain't a monster by himself. It took some help.
I'm just ready to get the hell out of there.
Duh.
Black women don't get the same recognition as our white counterparts. And I wish that would change.
A grown man, 50-something years old. That's not acceptable, nowhere. Nowhere.
Surviving R. Kelly. Check it out.
It's on Lifetime.
Or don't.
Lifetime channel.
Check it out or don't. Either one.
Yeah, another great thing with the documentary, though, so it's not all doom and gloom, is it is really cool that there's a couple organizations. One specifically is called Mute R. Kelly, and essentially they're running around just trying to cut him down at the knees. They've got him removed from. They couldn't get him completely removed from Spotify, but they got him removed from any like relevant playlists. Which does definitely, it's not a huge win, but it definitely dampens his reach.
It's so surprising to me how popular he is. Like, again, his music is not for me.
Well, it's a weird thing
I
where
believe I can fly.
If you
Who likes that shit?
They talk about that actually. They say that he'll do his like Ignition and his Trapped in the Closet and his overly sexualized shit, but then he very strategically will know when to insert some like gospel kind of I'm a good old boy.
That's right. And that's what that song is.
I'm a man of the church.
I
Everything's
I
cool.
fly.
I would never pee on a little girl. And then when everybody goes, cool, we believe, he was like, sick. Back to fucking
sick.
Back to sexy time.
I believe I can pee
Yep.
on 14-year-old girls' faces.
And also, you know, it's like when Dave Chappelle is doing like a funny sketch about it, which that sketch was incredibly funny. However, you do that, plus he was on South Park. It becomes this thing similar to like Charlie Sheen.
I know what you mean.
When he was first kind of losing it, it's like
kind of meme culture.
You almost put like a silly spin.
Right. That's why I thought it was just about pee-pee.
On like diabolical shit.
Because that skit from Dave Chappelle, most of it's just about him peeing.
Yes.
It's funny that he likes to pee on girls.
And
not that he's peeing on kids.
Right.
Like, yo, that's kind of the important part.
In that Chappelle sketch, they almost go so gnarly with it that it's like cartoony. There is a massive barrel that just says R. Kelly's urine on it. So then you kind of go, this is funny. Everything's fine. No one was hurt. It does put that little bit of a... But then you watch this and you're like, no. He has been...
Yeah, he's raping girls.
He's been building a sex cult.
Yeah.
To where, you know, there's a scene where two parents are like...
I haven't seen my daughter in 2 years.
Yeah, we got word that she's at this studio and they're throwing rocks at the window.
Yep.
And a different prisoner woman kind of like turns the blind or whatever, like pulls apart the curtains.
Sucked.
And they freak out and they're like, is that...
Oh my God, that was her.
Like, that's our daughter. We just got to get in there.
Remember the one where the girl's... She's on camera talking to like a news special? Because people are like investigating
TMZ.
now. Yeah, TMZ, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I'm not a prisoner. I'm not held here against my will.
Dude.
And you see in the background a shadow on her shirt because she's wearing like a sweater. And it's like reflecting a shadow. And you see a shadow of someone going like this, like cut.
Like cut. Don't say... Or say no, because I remember the question was like, are you being held against your will? And she's at a computer, and then you could see on her shirt, somebody on the other side of the computer going, say no.
Say no.
And it's so obvious when because they call it out, and then they zoom in on it, and you see, so it's coerced, and it's
and that girl's sister was like, that's my sister. I know her. She's not acting normal.
Right.
I'm telling you, something's fucking up.
One of the girls that he had, he was slowly turning her into a boy. He was
that's right.
making her
Like
draw on
Desiree or
facial
something.
hair and like shave her head down a little bit,
Wear
her
boy
hair.
clothes.
Yeah, and start like wearing baggy. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
It's
that he's survived through like the Me Too movement and all the shit. Like, why is he still touring? And
here's the most frustrating
What the fuck's
thing
going
about
on?
it. He's nothing more than a spider who's catching some flies.
Yeah.
Like, he's not out there with a net snatching up girls.
Yeah, just getting hoes left and right because he's so badass. Yeah,
He
it's
is
not
snake
that.
charming them into his lair, and that almost makes it more frustrating because it's of their own accord.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
found myself sitting on my couch just like, fucking, how do you make them realize? Because they're 17
because
years
they're
old.
kids or even younger.
Yep.
We were fucking dumb fucks when we were teenagers.
Yeah.
You know, if you met the person
was
you
one of
looked
the
up to the most, yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Just
Especially if it came to
completely
something you were
stupid.
passionate about. And the most brilliant example I have of that is being asked by, his name was Tom. I won't say his last name in case he's still active in the scene, but his name was Tom. He molested me. No, I'm kidding.
It's like, wow, just got super way pumped the brakes out.
He didn't at all. He might have financially molested me. He goes, you should play a show at the Roseland. And I was like, oh my God, the Roseland, that's a big ass venue. My band would love to do that. And he's like, cool. All you got to do, you just sell these, 7,000 tickets or whatever.
Yeah,
He gives
yeah.
you a brick of tickets. And I was fresh in the scene, so I didn't know that whole pay to play thing. And I was like, we just got to sell these tickets and we're playing the goddamn Roseland. That's the shit. And I remember telling my mom, okay, we got to sell these tickets, blah, blah, blah. And she wasn't buying it. And instantly in my head, much like these girls probably, I'm like, Mom, you're ruining my fucking life.
Right. You don't
This is
get it.
a goddamn golden opportunity. And here you
So
are
what happened? You were
shitting all
fucked
over. No, instead she goes, listen, fine, whatever. I love you. You can meet with the guy, but I'm going. And I'm like, cool, you're the worst manager ever. You're just going to blow this whole fucking thing. She's like, I'm sorry, I'm not letting you meet a man.
Yeah, because she's a good mom.
We were going to meet at a restaurant or something. Right. And I just didn't get it. I was
Yeah.
like, fine, Mom, whatever. So he explains the deal, and she is like raking him over the coals. She was just like, okay, so you've explained everything. I understand it. It seems as though this is advantageous for you and the opposite of advantageous for my son. And he kind of looked at her. He was like, yeah.
What
And I
was the deal?
Dude, it was something insane. Like, you have to sell, I think it was 140 tickets, anything less, and you give them all the money and you can't play.
Oh, right.
If you sell 141 tickets, you're guaranteed to at least open the show at like fucking 4:30 p.m. And you get anything over 140, you get $1 per ticket. They get like $10 per ticket.
Those fucking scumbags, man.
It was
so
legit garbage,
prevalent
but I'm
back
just
then.
like, I'll do whatever. I was like 16. I
Yeah.
was like, I'll do whatever to play the Roseland.
Well, the problem with those guys, they scare off so many kids and bands.
Oh,
you see
yeah.
that shit, and you're like, fuck this, man. I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
But do you guys ever play the King Banana Presents shows?
Oh, yeah.
With Jeff? Jeff's
Yep.
actually a good guy. But
He totally is. He's one of the few guys that I've had. Across the Sun used to do local shows.
yeah, we spoil them all the time.
Dude, we would draw like $350, and then he would let us book our own bands and pay them whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
So we would take everything, give them
You're like
10,
the
15%.
sub-promoter,
Yeah.
right.
And then he would just take, I think he primarily took from like bar sales, and that would more than cover.
Dude, Jeff is still doing the damn thing.
He is, yeah.
Because when I first met him, we kind of thought, we were like, this is kind of scummy. Wait, what's happening here? Are we getting fucked over? But then, you work with him a couple times, like, oh, wait, no.
He's the
like,
first one that
he's
wasn't.
the real deal.
There
Yeah.
was one guy named
That's what it
Ryan.
was.
This guy Ryan, way back in the day,
I know exactly who you're fucking talking about.
in a band called Faded Glory or some shit. That might actually be the Target
Was it
denim
Fade
company.
Out? Or
Yeah,
No,
it's not
something like that.
Faded Glory is like a shitty clothing company. It was maybe it was just Faded.
Faded?
It was Fade. Anyway, his name was Ryan, and he did like a mini promoter thing. He was under a bigger promoter, and he would
Yeah.
take like the smaller local shows. He did the same thing that Tom guy did, but on a way smaller scale, way smaller.
What else was on our list of things?
We got
Sent you another link. What was that?
Conor McGregor's coach.
Oh, yeah.
John Kavanaugh had some.
So have you seen this yet, Alan?
I actually haven't. No, we even talked about this a couple days ago, and I didn't.
And then we forgot to do it. Yeah. By the way, that was last night. That's how busy we were.
Oh, is that what that
Yeah.
was?
So just a quick preface here. Coach Kavanaugh, that's Conor McGregor's coach, for those who don't know.
Yeah.
He was on some, like a news show sort of thing in Ireland, I would assume. It sounds like an Irish show. And he made a general comment. Someone asked, like, what's up with Conor? What's the next fight? Blah, blah. And he said something along the lines of, like, Conor, we'll see. I'm not sure if I'm going to work with him again. But he was just being very direct. Like, it's got to make sense for Conor to fight again. He's not the same fighter. He wasn't dogging his boy. He was just... Anyway, I'm not doing the best job to explain it, but Brendan Schaub here does. So let's listen to this for...
No, it's not an easy road for Anderson. What else you got?
Fair enough. This one I found a little weird because you know how John Kavanaugh, who's Conor McGregor's coach, how he said like he hadn't spoken to Conor or seen him since the Khabib fight?
That's interesting.
Right? And now he says right now that Conor, if he wanted to work with Kavanaugh again, he would have to give him a good reason.
Why did he? Where did he say this on? What show?
It was some
Sunday Independent. Assuming that's an Irish news
has to be.
outlet. Well, he would certainly have to convince me to go again. I love the whole journey we've had, but I need a good why. It might be Nate Diaz again because he promised that fight. It might be a rematch with Khabib. But if it was just, well, they want me to fight that guy, I think I'd say, I wish you the best. He has his wife and 2 kids now. He has 2 kids?
Yeah, he had a little one on the way. Or it's just barely born.
Okay,
She's
he has a wife and 2 kids now. I don't want him taking more hits than he needs to. Khabib hit him with a punch in the fight that he has never been hit with in his career. Even Superman slows down at some age. Okay. This isn't... I mean, it's not like he's saying Conor's a bad person. He's fucked me over. He's saying, hold up. This dude, we've been on this journey, man. I saw him go from welfare to a multi-millionaire. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He's making more off his whiskey than he ever has in any other endeavor. So hold on. You want him to fight which random dude now?
Oh, okay.
You want him to do what?
See, I agree.
He has
with
2
him.
kids.
I'm
He's
curious what
set
you
for
think,
life. He has more fame than he knows what to do with. His everything could ever want for. The only thing that could happen if he fights again is brain trauma. That's it. He's already had the belts. He's had 2 belts. He's done it all. He fought the best of all time in boxing. He's done that. I'd have a hard time. I'm with him on this. All right. So you want to fight what for? They want you to fight Dustin Poirier. You already beat him. Why are we doing this? They want you to fight Cowboy. Why? It's great for those guys. It's great for the UFC.
Okay,
the only person it's not great for is you.
What do you think, Alan?
I don't know. I think I disagree. I think here's my thing. I don't know that. Listen, Kavanaugh doesn't have to train Conor McGregor, but at the end of the day, he's not his manager. He's his trainer.
Yeah.
So,
but to point out, he's been the only one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's got. I
don't mean the only trainer. His head coach.
Yeah, he is for sure his head. He's got Roddy as his boxing coach, I believe, and he's got his buddy
Jiu-jitsu
Dylan
guy,
Dennis is the jiu-jitsu dude. I don't know. I kind of feel like Conor's manager Ali. I feel like they would talk about what the strategy is. What's the move? What makes sense? And also for Brendan Schaub to say like Donald Cerrone. Why? Here's my thing. That for sure puts Conor back in the win column. I think that's a fairly easy win. I know that.
But do you want to see that? I mean, I'm answering my own. Of course, I want to see that.
I think that I
want to see it, but not like
McGregor's in a position where you can match him up, give him the worst matchup, like not worse, like what is he most likely to lose? Give him the worst matchup, like the one the fans want to see the least, and it's still doing $1 million.
Oh, for sure,
it still is
for sure,
because the difference with Conor McGregor and every other fighter is that it's a blast to watch him fight because when he's on, it's unreal. And he's typically only been on, other than his loss to Nate Diaz, which he quickly came back and avenged, and then his loss to Khabib, which no one's fucking beaten Khabib, so that's how that goes.
And to be fair, he's definitely not going to beat him, but he also didn't look like the same Conor.
Right, he didn't at all. But here's the thing. I'm
just wondering if he's... Go ahead.
People also, they like the build-up. There's no better fight build-up than one with Conor McGregor. And even the post-fight shit... When you watch Conor fight, you get everything, like before the fight and after the fight. Even
they're the best,
dude. Even 2 weeks after the fight, you're still, if you're a hardcore fan, you're scouring the internet looking for any like like leftover bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
did he say something as he was leaving the arena, or did he hit the
meat on those bones?
Yeah, did he hit the fans with something on Twitter a week later? Whatever. I don't know. I think Conor is the exception to a lot of rules.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I also get that John Kavanagh has a very close relationship with Conor. Maybe he doesn't want to be along for the ride as Conor does his, you know, get brain damage tour. I get that too.
I think that's what he's saying. He's
Yeah.
just saying, like, you know, you've come a long way, kids. Let's not fuck it up now.
But I mean,
kind of thing.
Does Kavanagh have any additional confidence in somebody else more than himself? Like, if Conor's gonna go to war, if Kavanagh cares about him that much, doesn't he want to be the one, win or lose, that was there to best prepare Conor?
And what matters the most is, like, what does Conor say? I wonder what he's said to this.
Well, that's what I held myself back from saying, because I didn't want to like piggyback this news with other news, but sort of related. Viras Sahabi, who is he's the head coach at TriStar.
Yeah, rad guy.
Incredible dude, very intelligent guy.
Yeah.
He's George St. Pierre's head coach.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, just legend.
Rory McDonald, you know, crazy dudes. He recently just very humbly said, I see Max Holloway winning a rematch with Conor McGregor, which I don't fully disagree with, and I'm a huge Conor fan. But Conor, in classic Conor style, got on Twitter and just went, "Hey, dude, you hit a clock for a living. Like, you've never fought. You're a twerp. Who the fuck are you?" Back with Rob.
To America. Well, we're back. For the listeners at home, my computer crashed because apparently I didn't have enough storage. That was pretty cool.
James has less storage on his MacBook than some people's iPhones.
Yes. We love MacBooks here.
Fucking geez. 120 gigs, man. Woo. What are you going to do?
That's terrifying.
I mean, that's Apple's fault. They're at a point now where you can't upgrade your shit. Like, back in the day, I would get, when I bought my first iMac in 2010, they wanted $600 to put 32 gigs of RAM in there.
Fuck them.
Meanwhile, for $90, I could buy it myself and install it. And so I did. And then they got wise to that. Tim Cook of Apple has said, that's murdering us. The fact that you can go and get it repaired at a third party. So we have purposely made it to where, I mean, he didn't say this part because it sounds so diabolical, but essentially, yeah, they have purposely made it to where, like, if I wanted to upgrade this MacBook, it requires like welding and shit. Like, I've got to take it into Apple and they have to fuck with the motherboard. And
that's so shitty because they know that we're all using, that's why you get a Mac for media, for music. And
it's how everything is though. Like, if I needed to change the oil in my 2018 4Runner, good fucking luck.
I know.
Like, there's a reason I got to take it to the dealership now.
Me too.
It's so stupid.
I always take my Tacoma to Toyota. I'm like, I'm not
Same.
gonna fuck around with this shit.
Makes me miss my 93 Dodge Dakota, even though the tires were like made of soap, like bars of soap. It would be dry as shit outside and I'm just fishtailing. But I could change the oil in it.
That's your tires. It's not the truck, man.
It's the whole truck. It's what Dodge is known for, soap tires, dude.
Soap tires.
In their slogan.
Did we have any tasty current events to talk about?
We had the McGregor thing, which, you know, we got cut off midway through talking about that.
Was there anything else you want to say? I think we get the point on that.
Yeah, no, just, you know.
You want to see him fight, he should fight.
R. Kelly sucks.
R. Kelly sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Cool. Let's do a quick movie pick here.
Oh, yeah. So, Kyle, since you're... I'm assuming you haven't heard other podcasts that we've done. We've only done a handful together, James and I, but he's a huge cinephile, addicted to movies.
Yeah. Very much so.
And so this is a thing that we do. He like picks a movie. The last episode, the movie was Shawshank Redemption.
Oh God.
Right?
So
so good.
I would say most of the time my movie picks tend to be new movies, like things I've seen in the theater, but I don't know, 1 out of 5 times they're not.
Well, I mean, dude, my favorite pick of yours so far is a movie that came out when did Green Room come out? 2007, 2008?
Dude, so
Green
good.
Room with the punk band Oregon in it. Amazing movie.
You know Draper's in that movie?
No way.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear about it.
He plays like a production guy at the venue, He's in it for like 10 seconds. If you blink, you'll miss him.
Fuck.
But he's in it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch it again.
You can hear his voice. He's something like, where's the, what does he fucking say? Something about like, where's the PA, or where do I plug the Scorda in, or something like that. Something gear techie. And you can see him go, okay, I got it. He's like wrapping a cable or some shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so sick. It'd be hard not to go like too hard with that one moment that you have.
Oh, dude, I would.
Like, where the fuck is someone just like go insane, with, just show off your
all
chops?
Method. Like, bro, you're not.
If I don't get this
Pacino
fucking
here.
cable, you cocksucking Pete, and they're like, cut.
Can we get someone else to do this?
It's like, sorry, dude. I just thought like so. Like
I
my
thought
character.
I was gonna be one of the guys killing people. I didn't want to work for the fucking club.
You're just trying to talk the director into it. Listen, my character's super pissed, right? And he's just like, and they're like, dude, just say the fucking line we wrote for you.
Say the line.
I'm saying it.
Yeah.
Okay, I just
Less
texted
passion.
you a trailer. It occurred to me I hadn't done that earlier. This is another. So I'm going to do 2 movie picks in a row of movies that are not brand new. This is a movie called Adaptation.
Oh, is this
anyone seen that?
Is this where Nicolas Cage turns into a plant? I've only seen the poster.
No, he does not
okay.
turn into a plant. That's hilarious. That's what you took from it.
Okay, cool.
No, but really good movie. Who directed? Oh, Spike Jonze, I believe. Let me double check here on the IMDb machine. Yeah, Spike Jonze. So the guy who did a lot of stuff. What did he do recently? Well, anyway, he was one of the original dudes that did like Jackass, and he was a skateboarder back in the day. And one of my favorite writers of all time, Charlie Kaufman, wrote the screenplay. Okay, so a quick thing about this movie and why it's so layered and amazing. It's, like I said, written by Charlie Kaufman, who the main character in the movie, played by Nicolas Cage, is playing Charlie Kaufman. So he's playing a script writer, and he's trying to write a script based on a book that Meryl Streep's character wrote. And the whole time he's struggling writing this script. And so he like goes to a class, and the teacher of the class is talking about how the worst thing you can do is have narration in your script, in your movie. And the movie that you're watching, the audience, us, it's Nicolas Cage narrating. So they're like breaking all the rules that they're telling you not to do in a movie. And don't ever write yourself into your own movie. Charlie Kaufman, the actual guy, wrote himself in, like, so there's all these layers of, and it just keeps going that way where you keep realizing, wait, that's another, it's fucking so good. It's really poignant. Wild. It's funny as shit. Yeah, really good. One of my all-time favorite movies.
She hates me. She's disappointed. I could see it in her eyes when we met. I've got to stop sweating. Oh, she looked at my hairline. She thinks I'm bald. She's thinking I would never in a million years sleep with this guy.
We think you're great.
Oh, thanks. Wow, that's nice to hear.
To begin, coffee would help me think. Coffee and a muffin.
I'm going up to Santa Barbara this Saturday, and I was wondering.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
So I'll just be right back with your pie then.
So awkward.
Drum roll, please. I'm gonna be a screenwriter, like you.
I'm putting in a chase sequence. So the killer flees on horseback, cops after them on a motorcycle. And it's like a battle between motors and horses, like technology versus horse.
Susan, we would really like to option this. You want to make it into a movie? I want to know what it feels like to care about something passionately. John LaRoche is a tall guy, sharply handsome.
The book has no story. There's no story. Make one up. Okay, we open with LaRoche. No, we open at the beginning of time. Okay, we open with LaRoche. He's a white man. We open on Charlie Kaufman. Fat, bald, ugly, paces.
I've written myself into my screenplay. That's kind of weird, huh?
I guess we thought that maybe Susan and LaRoche could fall in love.
I just don't want to ruin it by making it a Hollywood thing. It's like I don't want to cram in sex or guns or car chases or characters overcoming obstacles to succeed in the end. She's crying. What's she hiding from us? I think you actually need to speak to this woman to know her.
People find love. People lose it. Every day, someone somewhere takes a conscious decision to destroy someone else. Who's gonna play me? I think I should play me.
Damn, dude.
There it is, folks. Check it out.
That I feel like that movie, you should have to watch that as like a punishment for doing R. Kelly level things. That seems like homework to me.
It's really not. It's
I didn't understand the trailer. Now I'm going to go watch the movie.
No, it's actually, that's the best thing about that movie is the depth of it is so crazy, but it's so easy to watch and it's enjoyable to watch. It's a feel good movie, oddly enough.
It's funny too because when you were explaining it, I was like, that sounds like some B and John Malkovich shit.
It is,
and then it even says from the creators
it's very
of
much that vibe. Yeah,
man. All right, well I got a movie pick. It's called Biodome. Let me go ahead and pull up the trailer.
In the Army now.
Yeah, I fucking legit watched that.
Yeah, we should have Alan's movie pick too.
Oh yeah,
we should have my fucking obnoxious hipster pick.
Yeah,
and then we'll have
James is like, so my movie is Schindler's List.
Yes.
I'm like, sick. So I got Encino Man.
So
Here we go. Just queue it up.
So far, you've done nothing but Pauly Shore.
Yeah, dude, it's all I watch. All I watch, man.
They're all good.
They are. Son-in-Law, thank you.
Pauly Shore Corner with Alan.
Best family movie ever.
Oh my god.
Son-in-Law is badass, dude.
It's the fucking Citizen Kane of family movies.
Pauly Shore, you know?
Dude.
Pauly
yeah, I
Shore.
do. Pauly Shore, for sure. Except if you go watch the most recent Joe Rogan podcast he's on, shit's sad. He's just, the whole time, he's just like, I used to be the weasel. That's all he says.
He's like, I used to be a star. I don't understand why
And
I'm
I'm
not
just
anymore.
like, okay, dude, you're also like 50. Like,
yeah, take it
you're
easy.
doing your thing. You're always going to have been Pauly Shore. You are currently Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
You're just
still him.
Yeah. Sorry, you're just not going to do, MTV Beach Weekend or whatever. You're not going to host that.
Yeah, he did seem a little bitter. It was weird.
It'd be. Listen, life was better for him back then. We all understand it. We all
but
get
that's
it.
how it is.
Yeah, that's how it goes, dude.
You can't do the whistle. I
Yeah.
mean, come on,
His
dude.
mom owned the comedy club or something.
Yeah, and then she passed.
The
so
Comedy
now,
Store, yeah.
Yeah, Mitzi Shore. She passed away. So now he runs it. I mean,
He had a fucked up childhood too, man.
yeah.
Watching his mom just rail fucking comedians and shit.
Yeah, and having her be like, I got to bang these dudes, have Uncle Sam Kinison watch you.
Yeah.
And then that
Ugh.
guy's fucking, he's insane.
Yeah, he's doing rails of cocaine at like 13 and watching people getting fucked.
It's honestly weird that he didn't turn into an R. Kelly. Because R. Kelly says that a lot of what started that shit for him was he was exposed to sex and therefore very curious about sex at like 8.5, 9 years old.
Right. You had a shitty father.
When like you shouldn't even be thinking about it at that point. Now with your 9-year-old brain, you're trying to make like a logistical sense of something
I mean,
that
what do
you
you
shouldn't.
expect's going to happen?
Yeah, that's too bad. But somehow Pauly Shore isn't out there starting a sex cult, despite having arguably a worse life than R. Kelly. I don't know.
He's got every reason to.
I don't know all the details, but
I think we did it, guys.
Fuck yeah, we did.
I think we came, we conquered, we put out a hot pod, as they say. I don't think anyone says that but me.
What flavor?
It's got to be tasty from what we've learned. Chocolate?
Wait, did you think that he said Hot Pocket?
That's what I was going with.
Oh, I said
See?
hot.
I knew you said hot pod, but it just me. I'm stoned and I immediately thought hot pocket.
Pepperoni
and I
for
was
sure.
Like,
Why fuck around?
lean
We're
pocket
talking
or hot pocket? Because broccoli and cheese sounds fucking delicious right now.
Yeah,
But
that's
also, standard classic ham and cheese isn't bad either.
See, I'm a pepperoni kind of kid.
Oh, see, that gives me heartburn.
I'm Italian meatball marinara for heartburn reasons as well. The pepperoni is just like.
What about pizza? You're getting a pizza. What's your favorite kind of pizza?
Well, I'm sticking by it. I will have pineapple on whatever kind.
I'm down, dude. Love pineapple, man.
Cool. Must be a drummer thing.
Yep. Hawaiian is the easiest go-to for me.
Hawaiian, no, sir.
You know what's weird?
My best pizza ever, pepperoni, black olive, pineapple.
Oh, dude.
Okay, yeah.
I was just going to say, that's my old man's pizza is pepperoni and pineapple.
I don't do the black olive,
I
but I
love the black
would.
olive
But
thing
I
too.
would.
Pepperoni, black olive, standard, add pineapple.
Yeah.
Fucking dig it, man.
I feel like the pineapple, like that fruit, getting a little bit of produce.
Pineapple with meat is got that perfect amount of sweet and
Yes.
savory.
So good.
Like steak, chicken,
Yeah.
pork, anything with pineapple, count me in.
Literally, it always works. Yeah.
Always.
Yep. Pepperoni pineapple is one of my go-tos as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a real asshole if you don't like what we're talking about.
And if you don't, that's fine too. But you are an asshole.
Nothing will confuse
you
me
are an
more than
asshole.
the why is it even a discussion? Not even because I'm on the pineapple side, but what a weird fucking thing to even.
I know.
Get mad about?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
debate?
Find something else in your life.
I would have
Potato,
never.
potato.
I would have never thought that would become like a viral complaint or a viral argument.
There's a
pineapple
lot
or no
of
pineapple.
things that have been just as dumb, if not dumber, than the pineapple argument.
Oh, dude, how do you guys feel about like the
Agreed.
whole like is the dress blue or black, blue and black, or is it fucking brown and silver or whatever the shit?
What was the newest one?
Oh, the fucking
Oh, the sound. It was like Carol. Not Carol. What was the word?
I don't know. This is gonna drive me fucking crazy.
Oh, people listening.
It was
yelling right
Yanny.
now. Yanny, there it is. Yanny or
and have you not done it, Kyle?
What?
This might be a great thing to pull back from the dead that nobody cares about. The fucking Yanny
Laurel.
Laurel.
That's what it was.
So there was a
it was for sure Laurel, by the way.
yeah, there was a sound clip, and 50% of the world was like, it's saying Yanny, and
You
the
don't
other
remember this?
and the other 50% of
fuck
he was
were you?
probably on
Yeah,
tour,
you're
like
probably on
no
tour,
internet
having
connection.
a life. Yeah.
And then the other 50% was like, it's not saying Yanny, dude, it's saying Laurel. Which could you find two words that are more opposite? But
yeah, but it's like pretty much 50-50 the population.
yes.
Okay.
Or Laurel.
Let me start over.
Do you hear Yanny? Or Laurel. A recent Twitter poll found that 47% of people hear Yanny, while 53% hear Laurel. Clearly, this has created an internet argument that is dividing the nation. So, what is
Both.
the science behind the madness?
Oh,
One of
because
the
if you
first
slow it down or
aspects
Because you
is
can hear both if you
Oh yeah,
want
you're
to.
right. Okay, but right now, what do you hear?
That whole time I heard Laurel.
Yeah, me too. What about you?
That whole time?
Yeah.
I'm hearing Yanny.
Yeah.
No way!
Isn't it tight?
What are you saying to
I
me?
love
So
it.
what does that say about like the person? Is it like a
It's a frequency thing.
Laurel.
Yanny? Yanny.
Really?
Totally.
See, that is so crazy. This like took over the internet.
There's an actual
Earlier in the year,
Is
I
it
feel
like a? Is it a hearing test or like a psychological?
They said that
test
yeah,
thing?
it's like a type of. Didn't they say it was like an age thing too?
there's an actual like scientific term for this because I watched a video. You guys know Bill Nye the Science Guy when it goes Bill.
Yeah, Bill.
Okay,
Nye
well I
the
watched a
Science
video
Guy.
where every time it said Bill, it showed something. So visually, it would show like a. It would show maybe it wasn't even a picture or something. It was a word that would say pail, like putting sand in like a sand pail, and then it would do.
So man, then you think pale.
And then it would do bail. Yeah, but you could hear it, even though it was saying Bill over and over again. When it showed you something, you would hear what you're seeing. So it said this is similar where this basically has two frequencies. Yanny is a high frequency, Laurel's the low.
Yeah.
So you can actually stop and listen. If you go Laurel, like you wait for it, you hear Laurel. And then if in your mind...
You guys heard Yanny?
Yeah, I've heard both. I initially
but
heard
only if
Yanny
it's, like,
first.
slowed down.
Forever ago. Yeah. It was Yanny first. And then out of nowhere, it was Laurel. And I was like, what the fuck? And then when I was reading on it, it was like, you can hear whatever you want.
Okay, so this
So
is.
it could say pussy right now if I told.
Well, no. It's got to be close.
This is it'll be 40% slowed down after this. So now I hear sort of Yanny.
And that sounds like
That
yelly.
sounds like Billy.
Yeah.
Billy. Yeah, I hear Billy now.
You see right there, he's going R. Kelly. R. Kelly.
Kelly.
R.
Pissing
Kelly.
on 14-year-olds.
Did you get your shots? Did you get your shots?
So there you go.
Cool.
We did it. Apparently, Ellen DeGeneres here's Yanny, so she's with you.
Okay, that's
Kyle.
good to know.
So you and Ellen.
So I'm awesome.
Yeah.
I guess you're awesome.
Yep.
Because she's great.
There you go.
Yeah, it's like the Yanny's more robust. It's like Yanny.
Yanny.
I hear it.
Well, you say it like that.
Yeah.
You call me a bitch.
Yanny, Laurel.
You hear Laurel.
Yeah,
I hear Laurel.
I can't hear what the lower frequency. I just hear Yanny.
Dude, if you go home
so
tonight,
weird.
if you go home tonight and nerd out on it, you'll hear 150 different things.
Yeah.
It's because
there's a bunch of shit.
if you
out
let
there,
ear fatigue set in, you start.
I don't want ear.
No, you don't. Honestly, I don't recommend it. But if you want to wrap your head around it, for sure.
It is quite interesting.
Well, I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm Yanny all the way, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was. Dude, we were at the Rise office. We were screaming at each other, like fucking fire her ass, dude. She hears Laurel,
Burn her. She's fucking signing banners.
Dude.
She's a witch. Shit.
Yo, your fucking ears suck, bro. Out. You're out.
You're hearing it fucking wrong.
Dude, and it's because you so strongly identify, like what you hear, that's your model of the world. So like, it's so hard not to go caveman and feel threatened. Like, no, it's Laurel. It's like, you calling me a fucking liar? Like,
you're not one of us.
Dude, you lose your shit.
You're voted off the island, bro.
Jesus Christ. All disturbing behavior style.
Yeah, dude, absolutely.
All right, let's wrap this hot pod up.
Hot pod.
Where can they find you, Kyle, on Instagram?
Oh, KB36CF.
Love it. That is Kyle Baltus, 36 Crazyfists, guys, if you think about it.
Yeah, 36 is 36 Crazyfists official, and then you can find Ligature Marks at Ligature Marks Band.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'll try to remember to tag all that stuff too when I'll put the social assets together.
I forget to tag our shit.
I'll put it in the episode notes for iTunes and shit.
Yeah.
Anything else you want people to know about?
It's a new year, man. Have a good one.
Yeah,
everybody. Yeah.
And Kyle's a drummer for hire right now, so take advantage of the time he has off.
Yep.
Because he will be on
Hit
the
him
road
up.
again.
He loves to turn shit down, so just
he's being very
just inundate
coy
him,
right
dude.
Yep.
Shoot him an email so he can say no, and then
that's not true. I'm very easy to work with. I'm very nice.
I mean, some would argue
Not
that
what I've heard.
the best thing you could do, the easiest way to be the easiest to work with is be very honest up front. And sometimes the most honest thing is no, thank you.
Yep.
You know,
I
because the
agree.
worst thing in the world is
Howard,
like
no.
sure, and then because you said yes but you can't do it, you show up late
Now
or
you're-
you give like a half-ass effort.
Totally.
It's nicer to be a dick right up front. You're not even being a dick, but people will perceive it as that. You just go no, thank you.
I should have said that today, but it was you.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm here giving you half my effort.
It would have been bad
Important
news. We would have just done this podcast without you, and I would have just done your voice and mine and just said horrible things about you.
How would you have sounded?
I would be like, "Sup, damn Kyle, dude."
What's that, dude?
Oh my god!
Sup, damn Kyle, dude. I don't even know why you're like a weird redneck.
Why am I like this?
You're like a
dude?
surfer
You're like
redneck.
Yeah, you're like a redneck
What's up,
that owns like a surfboard and says, "Dude, what's up?
But you live nowhere near the beach.
I got to tend to my crops, dude."
You go feed the horse,
Seen
dude.
Zoolander 2 yet?
What's that?
You've seen Zoolander 2?
Yeah.
No, I
You know
haven't.
The fucking dreadlock.
Is it
dude?
good?
It's like he's like,
Yeah.
nah, man, this place are nah baba.
It's so good.
Is it good?
I thought it was fucking
Okay.
pretty funny.
I love the first one.
Don't hold up to thinking it's gonna be anything as good as the first.
Well,
obviously,
I mean, just like
But
Anchorman, you can't
it-
fucking hit 2 home runs like that.
Dude, it was pretty fucking good for what it was.
Okay.
I was laughing my ass off.
Where can they find you, Alan?
I'm at It Came From the Sky or website alanashcraft.com.
Love it. You can find me at James Ian Macmillan or at statesidemgmt.com. No, just at statesidemgmt.
Beautiful.
What else, Alan? Anything else?
No, if we can give them the sponsor spiel.
Let's do the
again.
sponsors, but yeah, if so what we've been saying is if you're in a band or you do a small company or you have a thing that you want the world to know about, consider sponsoring an episode, and we would love to promote that thing that you want the world to know about. And with the caveat, like we say every time, if you're part of the KKK or you want to advertise stupid shit, then you have to just pay us more money and we'll do it.
Yeah.
But you have to pay us a lot of money.
It's probably way more.
Yeah.
But,
Like
well, not that much more.
3 times the rate?
Yeah, whatever.
3 times.
Just same rate plus some gummy bears.
Yeah, that works. That works. Please subscribe to the show, rate and review. That definitely matters. And share the show with your friends. I think that's it.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody.
We did it. Thanks, man. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you guys, man.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Catch you guys later.
Bye.
Catch you later.
Catch you later, bro.